Did you hit it?
I did. Did you think I didn't hit the button?
No, I was making sure something. Well, no music. We just gonna start the show because our fucking intro music didn't work. And we're here.
I feel so wrong.
I feel like
I feel so violated.
I think the buttons are off, period. Soon you have.
No.
Nope, just that one. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Death Fresh Show. It is I, Mr. Tone Deaf. We back in the building on this lovely Thursday night.
We bike.
We back, people.
We bike. Bike.
I'm gonna give y'all a heads up. Tone did something to his back last night.
Cause he's a freaky nigga.
No, see, first of all, bro, everything ain't freaky related, dog.
Okay, well, how'd you fuck up your back?
I have to blame it on the kids. Okay. Has KK ever just like randomly went to sleep in your bed with you? Mm-hmm. And some odd reason her foot somehow ended up.
Yeah, she don't understand the concept of your side is your side and my side is my side.
Okay. Imagine 4 little feet crammed in your side as you sleep in a king size bed. It's a whole bed.
That's a whole bed.
Bed big enough that 8 niggas can sleep in it comfortably. But they want to be right up under me.
Because you gave them life.
No, I'm body heat.
Well, you are fat.
It's not even just that. It's just body heat, period. Tiana makes her way into the room at 2:30, 3 o'clock every night, no matter what. Consistently.
Start locking the door.
No, because then what if something happens out there?
You'll be asleep. You won't hear it.
No, I'm talking about them. Something happens to them out there. I can't tell because I don't lock the door. It's not that serious. But, little feet jammed in kidneys cause pains.
Some people say it's not that serious. And some people it is.
It is, but for me, nah, I don't need my door locked.
Nah, fuck that. Get out.
Nah, because if adult activities still need to occur, adult activities will still occur.
It's not even about adult activity. It's about peace of mind.
At that age, dog, I think all little kids sneak their way into their parents' bedroom.
No, get the fuck out.
You don't have kids. KK doesn't always have to choose your bed, though. She can go to your mom. She can go to Jazz. Something must be really wrong if she's in Noah's room. Something must be wrong if anybody's in Noah's room.
That's a fact. That's why no one goes in there. It smells like ass in there.
It smells like teenage.
It smells like ass and lotion.
Teenager.
I don't understand that guy.
You were a teenager at one point in time.
And I was not on the type of shit he be on.
No, based on the stories Mimi tells, you were a completely different kind of a guy. But you got to listen to Hostly Awkward or a past episode of Death Fresh Show if you want to know that story.
I was quite chill as a teenager.
That's not what we heard.
I don't know. Fuck what you heard. I'm telling you what it was.
Just saying.
She just lying. She was in prison for most of my teenage life.
God damn.
How would she know?
I'm just saying, bro.
Well, okay, wait, take it back. She wasn't in prison.
Right.
We didn't hang out. How the fuck would she know?
Maybe you were just a terrible person from a distance. From a distance.
I was trying to be a drug dealer.
See? Terrible person.
I hung out with some bad niggas.
Should have watched Snowfall. Snowfall would have taught you how to sell drugs right.
No, I never made it to the actual selling of the drugs.
Oh my God. So somebody put a brick on the table and you was like, nah, this ain't the life of me?
Yeah, pretty much. All my niggas was like, man, we finna get in the game. I'm like, I'm going to get a job.
No, the drug dealers wouldn't let me hang out with them. They made me go to school. Seriously.
I didn't know any drug dealers.
Nigga, I grew up in an area where everybody sell dope to help their family.
I mean, I'm pretty sure the niggas in the neighborhood, with the nice car. I'm pretty sure everybody sold dope. I just didn't know that this is what they was doing. And that's cool. I didn't want to know. Keep me out your business.
They did that on purpose because they didn't know what you was about. Me, on the other hand, everybody sold dope within at least a good 4-block radius from where I live. I think my uncle sold dope at one point in time. I know one was using, but that's a whole nother story.
I was the fat kid that wanted to play video games and go to the store for the snacks.
You know what? I tend to forget how old you are.
Right.
You grew up in a world where there was video games.
Yes.
You know, I was in that age where video games were transitioning to existence, like being at home. So I actually had to go kick
You
it.
had to go to the arcade.
Yeah, I had to go kick it. I had to go hang out with people. Couldn't be at home playing games. But then when they finally came home, my mom bought me one and then broke it.
That's fucked up.
Because that was her way of disciplining. I'm like, just because you bought it doesn't mean that breaking it is the way to solve all the problems.
Only if you're going to replace what you bought.
I usually end up buying my own upgrades, or she end up upgrading us like by Christmas time anyway. So I honestly started getting to the point. I think my mom was breaking our video games so she can have something to buy us for Christmas, or she had anger issues. I'm banking on the anger issue. She's a Gemini.
Oh, so she's crazy.
She has her days.
Like most Geminis I know, fucking nuts. Bunch of psychopaths.
Anyway, bro, how was your week though?
I went to work.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
So tell us a beautiful story of how white folks are ignorant. Because I know you got one.
No, but I did see this post on Twitter.
Okay.
It made me fucking chuckle.
Chuckle. It's a funny
So-
word.
The dude is in the store and he's got a mask on. But the picture on his mask is a picture of a face with the mask below the chin. And this lady is talking to, I don't know if it was her son or her boyfriend. She was talking to somebody that she was with.
Yeah. Okay.
And she was like, oh my God, you see this guy? He still have a fucking mask on. And like she's just irate that he ain't got no mask on. So she on the phone and she recording him and all type of shit. And then she walks up closer to the guy. She was like, I think it's just so wrong that you don't have a mask on. This is a store. Everybody else in the store has a mask on. What do you think you are above the law to wear a mask? And then the dude looks at her and does. Oh, did you say something to me? He pulled his fucking mask down. And then she was like, why the fuck would you wear a mask like that?
Because since we are forced to wear these masks, we are going to express ourselves through our masks.
And be fucking creative.
Because I've seen people have masks that said things, masks of their favorite cartoon characters, masks of them not having masks.
Yes.
You know, I mean, let people, if it's part of our wardrobe now, until the day they say, hey, it's safe enough that you don't have to wear a mask anymore. And then 6 months later, people might stop wearing masks. I just want you to know there were some people out here who got a nice little healthy bag from selling masks.
And I don't blame
I'm
them.
not mad at them. I'm not mad at them all.
Well, now, what I am mad at about white people at my job is that they think because what they say in Texas and Mississippi
Is the rule here?
is a rule here.
Nah, see,
So I was at work. I think this was like Sunday afternoon.
a Sunday
So
afternoon.
dude walks in. He got no jacket on. It's nice outside. He got no jacket on. He just chilling. He free as a bitch. He walk in. Hey, how you doing? I looked at him. I was like, where your mask at, man? He's like, mask? Who needs a mask? You didn't hear? They lifted the mandate. I was like, bro, that's Texas. This is Wisconsin. It's like, oh, COVID isn't real anyway. I was like, oh.
What is up with
What-
people in this?
Why do people think getting sick is not real?
Look, bro, we live in a society where after many years of people traveling around the world, people think the earth is flat. Why are you surprised?
It's like, now, granted, I feel you. I don't like this whole wearing a mask shit either. I think it's stupid. I don't really think it helps anything. But if people feel safe that you have a mask on, just put the fucking mask on. I hate that I have to wear this motherfucker for 8 hours a day because I be at work. Shit sucks.
It sucks big time.
But for this nigga to be like, yeah, COVID don't exist. This shit ain't real. It's a plot by the government.
The
What?
fact that I personally have people who I know who has COVID, and the fact that we have team members who have lost family members to COVID, I need them to shut the fuck up.
Right. I'm like, it's people who really get sick. Now, granted, if you are a little younger, it's not taking niggas out as if you were older.
Which I'm not understanding how the young ones, because most of their immune systems are terrible anyway, are not getting sick from it, but they shooting down Grandma Esther.
Because they old.
I'm just saying, bro.
Like, and okay, so and then in other recent work news, my job handed out this flyer saying that if you go get a COVID vaccination, I will give you 4 hours of PTO.
I heard that, and because of that, one of our close friends who was solely against getting the vaccination went and got it because he had 4 hours of PT to go get a vaccination.
You know what? I'm good on that.
I think we might have to get it in order to travel, though.
Now, see, if you want to do something in life and they be like, well, you need to get the shot in order to do it, cool. But me, I like, look, I ain't never had a motherfucking flu shot and I ain't never got the flu.
Well, there was that one time where you got extremely sick.
It was not the flu.
Just saying.
I had an issue with my fucking tonsils.
Eating bad pussy?
No, it could have been. I don't know. Doctor ain't gonna tell you that.
Some of them will.
Doctor definitely.
A real ass doctor would tell you, like, look here, bro.
Doctor not gonna be like, hey, yo, bro, you gotta quit eating bad vagina.
A real ass doctor would tell you that. Look here, bro. You got something that I've only seen in the women's coochie area.
Dragon Ball on your wrist?
No. Okay, so shout out to Shabri. So I went and got myself a chakra bracelet made. And basically it has different stones on there that have different types of healing powers and entities. And then the little balls have like phrases and sayings on it that help magnify the power. Since the beads and the gems, the crystal gems, are small compared to the normal full-size ones that people have.
So let me see if my math is right. You got a bracelet of healing gems, but your back fucked up.
Well, they're healing gems. This is more about, this one got made about prosperity, wealth, and success.
But not about your back.
Nah, I left that one at the crib.
Oh, okay. You need a back brace, not a bracelet.
No, this was actually, since I've gotten this, bro, a lot of positive energy has been flowing.
I feel you. Positive
business wise, the people I've been around when it comes to making business opportunities and stuff fall in my lap that a year ago I wouldn't have had or I wasn't even considering. So
it's not helping your back though.
My back is, I told you, it's my kids.
You gotta get you
gotta get rid of kids. My back will be fine once they gone.
Well, you can't put them out to the 18.
You see, okay. And you know what? I don't even think I'll do that then. I think when my kids turn 18, as long as they're on a path of something, they can still stay there. 9 times out of 10, I'll be done bought this big ass house. Okay. Because I got 2 girls, so they can only be in their own room for so long. They're gonna need their own room. I definitely want a 3rd bedroom anyway, or should I say a guest bedroom anyway, that may actually double as an office, because I want to get to the point where TDR is my only job. I'm almost there. I'm like $500 away from that. And
you need $500?
No. I need to consistently make an extra $500 beyond what I'm currently making to be in position to go down to part-time.
I feel you.
See, I have a set goal of how much I bring in after overhead expenses are taken care of, and I'm not putting it back into the business.
I really just want TDR to be able to buy me clothes and shoes.
That's not good, frivolous.
Why not?
Money spending. Because those things depreciate. Shoes depreciate.
No, fuck they don't.
Bruh, every time you wear a shoe, do you think you can sell that shoe back at the exact same price you pay for it?
That's if you wear it.
Okay, even if you sit it there, most of the shoes you buy don't really have a good high retail value past what you probably pay for them. Most of the shoes.
I was gonna say, nigga, I got a closet full of Jordans.
Right. And they bring the same Jordan out every single year. So if they're not first runs, originals, most people only want them because of what they are.
You must don't pay any attention to the resale market.
That's when they're dropping at that moment. Dog, the Jordans I got, I literally paid a fraction of what resale value would have been at for them just because they were they're not the popular ones.
Who did you buy them from?
I got it off this app.
What
Bought
app?
it from another nigga.
What app?
What app was this? It starts with an M.
Because, nigga, the Jordans you have, I could pull up on StockX right now, and they're definitely between $300 to $400.
You want to know how much I paid for mine? $75.
Right. But I'm saying, though, like, there is a market for all of these things. Like, shoes are an investment.
But you can get around it, is what I'm saying. Where's the fucking...
Yeah, when you know, motherfuckers.
All I'm saying, for me, not a necessity.
Right, that's you.
And because that's not a necessity, I wouldn't make it a business expense either.
Nigga, if it's my check, why the fuck does it matter?
You said from TDR.
Who will eventually... Don't I work here?
But you don't. I'm not finna spend business money, stuff I have to file on my taxes.
Tone, when this becomes a business,
it is already a business.
Oh, so it's already a business, right?
So when I have to file taxes every year, okay, and they want to look at my expense report, they see shoes.
My point is, a business has what?
It has expenses.
No. A business has what?
Expenses.
A business has employees. And employees get what?
You are not on the payroll.
Right. So when I get on the motherfucking payroll, whatever my check is, as long as it's enough to cover shoes and clothes, I can also not have to work full fucking time job.
As long as you work for it. I'm not just giving you a check. These are ugly.
Yeah, but people probably bought them.
Huh?
I said, yeah, but people probably bought them. Speaking of shoes, did you hear about the Nike rep?
Yes, that was one of the stories I added to. Ooh, I like those.
Is that white or is that cream?
It's white. It's the white. It's the It's the UNC ones. That angle was terrible though, because if you look at that angle, they look. But then when you look at it,
okay, yeah, ooh, that angle made them look like off white.
Right. That's what I say. You need to bleach them. No. Yes. So for those of you guys who don't know, one of the Nike executives, but when she like the VP.
Yeah, she's like VP.
Yeah. So the vice president of Nike recently resigned from her position. Now, for someone on the lower level like us, we really don't give a damn when executives lose their jobs because most of the time we always feel like they're overpaid for the work that they do. With this particular situation, she had to step down to basically save herself from doing jail time.
Because her son's a jackass.
So can I tell the story, dog? Okay, you can say the son is a jackass after I tell the story. So for those of you guys who don't know, the son that Juan brung up decided that he would go ahead and borrow his mom's company card and go to a local retail store and purchase all the shoes.
I heard he was getting them from the app.
He might have been getting them from the app.
And he had a robot.
Either way it goes, bro, he used the company's card. Now, you might say to yourself, well, that's no big deal. You can easily take the shoes back. He couldn't have definitely wore all the shoes. But here's the thing, people. He wasn't buying the shoes for himself because he's a shoe connoisseur like my guy Juan here. No, he opened up a resale store. So just like Juan is sitting here telling the story, I did that on purpose to banter, to lead into the story. I just want you to know that. Because tennis shoes do have a very good high resale value in regards to it, he decided to take advantage of his mom's hard-earned money from the company who basically makes too much damn money and was selling the shoes. Word got out that not only was he reselling shoes bought directly from Nike, that the shoes were bought with the mom's actual business credit card. So in so many words, it was stealing. To save face for her son going to jail, the mom stepped down from her position. Now, I don't know if she got to pay the money back or not. Did they say that?
I haven't heard anything like that.
Uh,
No, I'm not mad at this.
I'm definitely mad at the son.
I'm not mad at the mindset. Like, yeah, if you can get something for little to nothing and you can sell it and make triple whatever it's worth, I'm not mad. That's called hustling. It's good hustling.
True.
My point is, like, what I'm angry at is the fact that your dumbass, because he's young, people don't understand that some shit you just can't put on social media. So if you know what kind of job your mom has.
Right.
So if you take a picture on your patio with 1,000 fucking Nike boxes, that's gonna ring a red flag. That's like, look a little fishy, bro.
I don't think bro looked at it from that POV.
He didn't.
I think he looked at it because social media is everything right now.
It is.
It's how you sell. It's what you work for. It's how you get popular. Shit, it's how you fucking date. Let's keep it a buck. Everything is done on social media. If everything wasn't done on social media, Mark Zuckerberg wouldn't be locking shit down for no damn reason on people. You know what I'm saying? So because of this wielding power that social media actually holds and shit, niggas gonna look. Now, me personally, this is what I would have done. I'm the plug. Right. Because my parents, now let's even better. Let's say you're the plug. Your mom's works for a company that provides goods that everybody wants. You know the value of these goods because you're part of the generation that gives a damn about it, right?
Right.
So you come out here and you buy these shoes or clothes or whatever for 3X's and up people because we need our shit, right? So you use your mom's plug. You shouldn't be the front man. Somebody else is the front man.
Right.
You put somebody else's face out there. You make somebody else create the page. You make somebody else sell the coke that the people in the streets need. You just be the plug.
You didn't know no better.
You can't be the plug and the dope man at the same time. Because what he's trying to do is he doesn't want to give up profits. So if you bought a pair of shoes for $250 because you knew the drop and you knew how to get ahead of it, but you selling it on the streets for $400, go ahead and cut your man $75 for at least setting everything up. Because now your business is in the toilet and you ain't gonna make no money. Because I don't care what you say, them shoes you bought for $250, you better be putting $250 back on that credit card to cover your ass.
You don't know nobody.
But I get it. Moms took the L. Mom was probably close to retiring anyway.
But that was an unnecessary ass L.
It was an unnecessary L, but what can she do? Her son was probably gonna go to jail.
Your son could have been smarter about his business practices.
He was young, bro. You can't expect Noah to know how to do proper business. He just seen a hustle. He seen an opportunity. He seen a need, and he tried to supply for it. He just didn't do it right.
He clearly is the only child.
Usually they are.
Yeah. See, if he had like a big homie, somebody should have told him, like, look, bro, I see what you're trying to do, but this ain't how you do it.
I just think he should have started small. Buy the shoes yourselves.
I mean, he just wasn't using his money.
But that's what got him in trouble. I don't know. He may have still gotten in trouble opening a resale store because at my job, during the holiday season, that hurt it. I moved a little bit to the right and it hurt it. During the Christmas season, people come in, they buy shit that's on sale all the time and take it back to their store. Technically, we're not supposed to sell to them. We're not supposed to let those orders go through. But we're in a recession right now because niggas ain't got no jobs. So nigga, buy whatever you can. Nigga, fucking buy it all. We'll worry about it later. Because we've come to the conclusion you gonna buy from us. If we tell you no, you gonna buy from somebody else.
So it's like the niggas who it's like the Arab niggas.
I'm gonna add this to the cart. Because I kind of like those.
What app is that?
I'll tell you off air.
I mean, the Arabs do it all the time though.
You might not like this app though.
Why not?
I'll tell you off air.
Is it black on?
I don't know who the fuck owns this. You know, I'm gonna take those out the cart. I just realized those are youths.
Yeah.
I can't buy youth shoes and not be able to buy them in twos.
Yeah, you shouldn't buy youth shoes.
I could buy them for the girls. They don't get no damn about Jordan. They want they glue. They want their shoes shiny.
I be looking at the shit little kids like, and I'll be like, this is crazy.
When I tell you my baby wanted some Batman shoes, that threw me the fuck off. Then I found out she wanted to give them to a little boy at school. I was like, oh, I'm still not buying that nigga no Batman shoes.
He like Batman.
I know, but
she probably missed out on her blessing because you didn't want to help her man.
That fucking spoiled ass kid gets all the goddamn blessings in the world. But I didn't let her get the shoes because, like, one, I don't want nobody to start taking advantage of your kindness at a young age. Because niggas will prey on other people.
Hey, here's an ESPN alert. The Bucks just beat the Knicks.
Speaking of the Knicks, who is the most famous Knick that you know?
Patrick Ewing.
Well, apparently the security guards at Madison Square Garden don't know who the fuck he is. Cause
yeah, and you know it's funny. I just saw TikTok about this story.
So apparently Patrick Ewing tried to enter into the building to catch one of the games and whatnot, and security would not let him back in the locker room area because they did not know who he was.
Thought it was just COVID restrictions.
No, bro, they just did not know.
How the fuck don't you know who Patrick Ewing is?
And the crazy part was that was the title of the article. How do you not know who I am? You know,
like, and then like
John Starks, I'll let that slide.
Anthony Mason,
I'll let that slide. You know,
it's a lot of Knicks that I'll be like, man, if you don't know who the fuck he is, cool.
J.R. Smith, I most definitely would let that slide.
Nah, bro,
but not Patrick Ewing.
You gotta put some spec on J.R. Smith.
Nah, bro, I would never. Trill ass nigga, dog, but
he was a Knick.
And that's what, and ever since then is what that nigga, I have never liked that nigga.
Bro, JR was balling when y'all struggling.
Was he?
He was.
This nigga thought he was LeBron level.
I mean, he did come out of high school.
A lot of people came out of fucking high school.
You gotta
Brandon Jennings, by definition, came out of high school.
You gotta have some kind of talent to come out of high school.
Do you?
Yeah. Well, not Kwame Brown.
Thank you. That's the name I was definitely gonna bring up. You know what? Let's back that up. They got talent, or else the NBA wouldn't want them. Unless you like 7 foot or taller. Because there was this point in time where they were just taking niggas who was tall.
Well, Kwame Brown was about 7 foot.
Okay. So maybe he didn't have talent. He was just big.
Yeah, because Darko Milicic definitely didn't have talent.
Most definitely. Avery Sabonis basically was just a big ass nigga we needed to counterbalance Shaq.
His son is the truth, though.
I'm not going to take that away from you. You know what? I'm not going to have that conversation. If you guys want to hear anything about basketball here on TDR, make sure you check out 94 Feet Podcast. All they talk is NBA, and I fucks with them. Enough about that.
Fuck you mean? It's my show. Talk about what the fuck I want to talk about.
I don't talk about basketball. I ain't been watching this year.
Like we wasn't going to have a basketball. I just wanted to let niggas know that the Bucks beat the Knicks.
I'm glad. They deserve it.
The Knicks deserve. No, the Knicks need to win. I got money on the Knicks.
Why are you riding with them, dog? I've given up on that relationship.
Because they are going to make the playoffs this year.
I blocked them.
And then is gonna pay
that is how
dividend.
much that is how much I am done with that relationship that I have blocked them.
But what else happened in
life? Apparently we are getting money again.
I thought a bro nigga said something.
This is supposed to be the biggest payout for stimulus that we've ever had. So my Destiny app is going ham right now.
Man, tell Big Money Joe come through.
I mean, he coming through. $1,400 per person. Definitely getting money if you got kids. There's a few restrictions this time, but it's like after 100K per family, the dollar amount chips down like steps. but most of us is not gonna lose anything.
America really pick and choose what the fuck they give money toward.
Well, that was the whole reason why it took so long. Joe came in with he wants to basically, restart the economy, but he wanted to be able to help a lot of people while creating this package. So this $1.9 trillion package that he's creating, the $1,400 that's going per person, that's the basics of it. But the biggest thing about it is he's helping a lot of the restaurant businesses who took a major L this past year because people couldn't patronize restaurants. A lot of them, they were never built to do pickup and delivery kind of things. So they thrived off the sit down. So you have a lot of people who are waitresses who ate off the tips. If there's nobody in there, what can you do? A lot of people who would order their food from overseas and stuff like that, you couldn't order because a lot of that stuff wouldn't come in. So there was a lot of restaurants that took big L's. So this time they want to definitely make sure they helped out the school systems, helped out the restaurants, helped out the common working folks. Basically, at the end of the day, dog, it's helping out all the small people. Corporations, they ain't getting like they used to get. This is for all of us because you can't help rebuild the economy if you not give. Like people were complaining, like just giving us money ain't gonna fix nothing. But I've seen a lot of people come up because of us getting money. Like, hell, look at TDR, bro. This time last year, nigga, we was 5-10 shows max, recording that 5 Wise, complaining that people in the other room are having meetings and we're too loud.
This time last year?
Yep. Well, this time last year, the world was shutting down, but we were definitely still at 5 Wise.
Yeah, we had just shut down.
Yeah, because we at this time right now, we got hit with that 2 weeks where nobody could go anywhere.
Nah, I went somewhere, nigga. I still had to go to work.
I'm sorry to hear that, bro.
Man.
I got a nice fat 2-week paycheck just sitting at the crib.
They was like, you got to come to work. We understand if you don't, but you got to come.
See, and I don't understand that. Like, we understand if you don't. So does that mean that your job is in jeopardy? Am I going to get fired because I chose my health over this job? That's the one thing I don't understand about some jobs where
I definitely used COVID to call in a few times. Not that I had COVID, but I don't feel safe outside right now.
Yeah, it's understandable. I work from home, so I can't use that no more.
You gonna tell me you don't feel safe outside? Nigga, you moving from one room to another.
And the funny part is, even if I told him I got COVID, if I was to tell him that, it'd be like, okay, well,
can you type?
Right, you still can do your work from your desk, right?
Bitch, I'm dying.
Okay, we'll give you 3 days, and if you're feeling a little bit better, you can move around, log in. That's basically what the vibe was.
Companies really don't give a fuck.
A lot of companies don't. We need to kill that shit.
I want to cuss my manager out.
Why didn't you?
Because I didn't want that on my conscience.
For cussing out your manager?
Yeah.
Cuss him out. Fuck this shit, I'm out.
And then on top of that, my mouth was hurting too bad.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
So Super Bowl Sunday.
What? It happened. What?
I was like,
oh yeah, that did happen.
I'm going to call in. And it wasn't to watch the fucking Super Bowl. I just had a fucking toothache.
I remember that.
And if anybody know, like when you don't feel well, you are irritable.
Mm-hmm.
Slightest things that you like, I'm one of the type of people like, if it's something that I know I don't have to deal with and I don't feel well, why deal with it? Like I ain't gonna be mad at Kay if she want to jump around the motherfucking room. I can't like remove that from my life. Like I'm stuck with that. So I can't get mad at Kay.
Right.
But what I can't control is fucking white people who I don't want to be around. So if I choose not to go to work because I don't feel good, I'm not going to fucking work. I can't sleep at work. I can sleep at home. She was like, oh, so you just want to watch the Super Bowl? No, bitch. That's not what I want to do. I don't want to watch the Super Bowl. Matter of fact, I missed half the game because I was fucking asleep.
They don't understand that, dog.
Because not being awake is the only way I didn't feel the pain. And then you only get to sleep for so many hours before the pain kick back in.
Yeah, medicine only works for so long.
Right. Medicine is the biggest crock of shit ever.
Yeah.
That's why they still taking our money to find a cure for cancer, and they ain't found one.
No, they found it. It's more money in the treatment. That's what we've come to realize.
So
Everything has been cured.
They got the cure for cancer in the refrigerator, but it was like, yeah, if you just come in and get like 37 chemos, you'll be all right.
Yeah, because chemo costs you about $10,000.
God damn, America is sick.
That's the most capitalistic country known to mankind.
And we live. You want to move?
Where? Like, all bullshit aside, bro, moving to get away from this shit is a great idea. But then you go to other countries and you tend to find out, oh, you got fucked up shit too.
Yeah, because at least America, they ain't cutting your hand off of shit.
You know, they got fucked up shit too. Okay, not taking no sides or anything. Race, you know, everything that happened in the 50s and the 60s were fucking terrible for black folks. The separate but equal shit was bullshit, the whole 9 yards. But I'll be damned if I go to South Africa where apartheid is legal. That's legal racism, my nigga. Where it is a law that if you caught next to
this bitch black,
everybody in Africa is not black.
News to me.
You didn't know that there's actual white Africans? Do you not know who Trevor Noah is?
He light skinned.
How do you think he got light skin, my nigga?
His mama ain't African.
His mama's African. His dad is French.
But he's still black. That's what I'm saying.
He is,
he's
but
light skinned.
But because of his family being in South Africa during apartheid, he couldn't be seen publicly with both of his parents. He was too light to be with his black mother because that was illegal. And he couldn't be with his dad because his dad was a white guy who shouldn't be associating with black people anyway. No. So he was legally a deadbeat dad because he was white. And because he was dark skinned, he could never be over by his dad's house. He always was over by his mom's house and had to live with his mom. And even though his moms couldn't be in public with him, it was times where he said Trevor was out in the street by himself, even though his parents was around because he couldn't be seen standing next to them.
Yeah, let's not go to South Africa.
Well, that shit's over with, bro. But I'm just saying, that's just an example of how sometimes we take things that we have here for granted when other countries have it worse. But I will go live in Denmark, though.
I don't know what's in Denmark.
The happiest place on earth. So.
Isn't that Europe?
Yes. It's in Europe.
I don't like it.
There's too many white people for me, but at least happy white people I can live with it.
I ain't looking at a globe in years.
Nigga, why haven't you looked at a map or a globe?
Doesn't that part of my everyday life?
Nigga, you look at Google. That's a fucking map in there.
I don't look at Google Maps, nigga. Just look at Google.
That's right, because you don't drive nowhere.
Yeah, right. So
anyway,
why do I need a GPS?
To go places. Yeah, you need a GPS to get to Zamunda.
Yeah, but if you got Uber has a GPS.
I don't think Uber could get you to Zamunda.
No, you definitely need a flight.
Definitely need a flight.
How long is the flight to Zamunda?
Where the fuck is Zamunda?
Right between Nigeria and New Guinea.
So it's 2 blocks from Wakanda.
Gotta be.
Because that's basically, if you go watch Black Panther, that's where they zoomed in at Wakanda is. But anyway,
bro, when you watch that cutscene, there wasn't shit on that map.
That was the whole purpose of it.
You saw Wakanda and Atlantis. I'm like, I know goddamn well, even in a fictional world, none of this shit needs to be next to each other.
Atlantis has always been considered somewhere near Africa. Yeah.
So what would that make Atlantis in real life? The Pacific Ocean or is that the Atlantic Ocean?
I don't know.
I
would say Atlantic because it's Atlantic.
You talk about you ain't seen the map and you don't know where the Atlantic Ocean is.
Nigga, I don't give a fuck about them body of water. I don't go out there. You wanna know why I don't go out there? Because there's shit in there
that don't nobody know
that can fuck us up. That's why we can't breathe underwater. Because we're not supposed to be there.
Speaking of shit and water that we don't know about, whoever the fuck came up with the concept of Godzilla is a sick fucking person.
Well, he's going to get into a big ass fight with King Kong. You see the trailer for the new one?
I did.
What do you think about it?
I kind of want to watch it.
Tori has been following all these movies have been building to this movie no matter what.
Yeah, like okay, because like I watch it like I follow this channel on YouTube called Screen Rant.
I know that channel.
And like
I love that channel.
They talk about like the Marvel. I basically started following it for like the comic book movies.
Right.
But then, you know, every once in a while they break off and they talk about some other shit.
Right.
So they was saying that apparently that they have been planning to stitch together a MonsterVerse in much of what they do with comic books.
Right. They've been
so
that.
Apparently the first Godzilla movie that we got, not the very first
not
one,
the one, not the one in New York,
the updated one,
yeah,
that we got that came out not too long ago. I want to say 2016,
something like that. There,
and then the Kong Skull Island movie, they were connected.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They've been building this all this time.
So, do you think that we need to go back and watch the Godzilla, the King Kong, and then watch them?
Yes,
to understand it.
Yes, to the extent you want to know why
these motherfuckers are fighting.
Well, you're gonna find out why they fighting in the movie. That's nothing. You're gonna find out like the importance of it, though. It's like saying, prime example, niggas been watching WandaVision lately, right?
This is true.
But because we have people who watch what's popular, they want to start watching WandaVision, and then they don't know what the fuck is going on. So then we tell them, well, it's part of the Marvel movie. You got to go back and watch all the Marvel movies, right?
Right.
And they'd be like, well, I'm not going to watch all the movies. So just where can I start at? And then you'd be like, well, technically Wanda shows up in Captain America, so you technically can start here. Technically. You need to at least know where Wanda came from, how we got here to watch WandaVision, or else you're going to be confused, especially the first 2 episodes.
Yeah, them first 2 episodes I watched, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to watch this shit.
But they did that on purpose, though.
Then somebody on Facebook was like, I don't know what you niggas talking about, but episode 3 is fucking cracking.
Right.
Because
like, that's when
I'm back in now.
That's when the stories broke and you started seeing like other shit. Because all it was it was fucking the first 2 episodes were their version of the Captain America First Avenger. Because that movie was dry. And that shit didn't get cracking until like the last 30 minutes. But then after that, Cap movies never got dry after that.
It's a 6-hour movie. And even if it ain't 6 hours, that shit feel like
it felt
hours.
like it because the up to World War, up until we got muscular Cap, young scrawny Cap, we ain't getting no fuck about dog struggles. we didn't care how we got here.
So do you think?
So it's gonna be pretty interesting.
I'm gonna watch it based off the fact that there's gonna be 2 monsters on screen.
I think the best way to enjoy this series is wait till it hits DVD and then just have an afternoon of watching all 3 or 4 movies together.
Yeah, because I don't unless you buy the first 2 movies on a streaming site, it's not free. Right. So you can probably watch it on like Amazon.
Right. And they did that on purpose because with the new movie coming out, you know, niggas are going to want to go back and watch the other 2. Let's make a quick buck or 2, you know, not mad at them. But speaking of movies, and we kind of talked about Zamunda earlier. For those of you guys who don't know, the sequel to Coming to America, named Coming to America, just dropped last week. It actually dropped after we did the last show. Have you had a chance to watch it?
I did. I watched it as soon as one fucking home.
I did too, bro. I ain't gonna lie like that. WandaVision went off, and then I turned on Coming to America. What do you think about it?
Oh, Coming to America?
Yeah.
I didn't have a problem with it. Well, I did, but it wasn't like a big problem.
What problem did you have with it?
The only problem I had with the movie is just the plot point between him and his son. I felt like fam hopped right out the limo. He didn't even have a real picture. He looked at a drawing of a nigga. It was like, you my son, hop in the limo. We go to Zamunda.
Okay, so I give you that, but you also got to take 2 things in consideration. One, he's always been naive. That's how we ended up in Queens to begin with. Like, just think about it. I want to go find my own wife. I'm going to America. You just happen to go to the city's named Queens. thinking there's just a whole fucking city of women waiting to be somebody's queen.
Good logic back in the 80s.
Kind of naive. Okay. Then two, the picture that was drawn was by the royal shaman. So it's like he predicts the future. He knows all these different things. He hands you a drawing. You're going to believe that this is who this drawing is. You're going to believe what he put down. Now you add that plus the naivety. Then you go back to Africa. You go back to New York. You go back to Queens. Now, first of all, the barbershop shouldn't have still been there. Them motherfuckers was old the first time. We 30 years later, at least half of them should have been dead. I don't care what nobody say.
That's a fact.
At least half of them should have been dead. Or damn sure not cutting nobody damn hair. But they knew the dog was a scalper. So it was just to get let's just get dude in the story.
Yeah, it was one of them. Let's just get this shit over with.
Let's get this shit started because we don't care about the Harlem scene anymore. We want to get you back to Africa because that's really where the story is in this one.
But even going back to like, it still just should have been way more interaction between him and his son.
I feel you, but I don't think the story. I think this is the part that pissed everybody off. We expected a new story kind of around Eddie Murphy's character, but that's not what it was supposed to be. It's not a reboot. It's a sequel. So the whole purpose is about
moving forward.
So you got to introduce. This is your second movie in your trilogy, in my opinion.
Right, because we definitely getting the third one.
Yeah. Your second movie in your trilogy is all it is to set up the final act. So eventually the third movie is going to be Eddie's now getting ready to die. But at this point in time, the oldest daughter is who's going to need to find herself a queen. A king. Or, hey, we live in a gender neutral world. Could be a queen. That could be the twist.
That would be a plot twist.
That could be the twist. Because it didn't seem like she was interested in, first of all, Ramit as the son for Eddie Murphy. Let's back up. Eddie Murphy stole the fucking show in this movie. I don't give a damn what nobody say. Because this nigga was beyond hilarious. He was hilarious when he first came on the scene. He was hilarious when they were interacting, trying to hook them two up. And he was hilarious even when he got his ass whooped by the daughters.
Are my princely robes not on fleek?
Does nobody say fleek anymore, Dada?
When he said it, I'm like, bro, we don't even say fleek no more. When did y'all start recording this movie again?
But that was the whole concept of it, was like parents are usually out of touch of the times.
That's a fact.
That's what it was. So I liked it because of the nostalgic factor. We got a lot of people. We got a lot of scenes that if you didn't watch the first one, the jokes will go over your head, of course.
Facts.
I'm glad to see Louis still alive and kicking.
Who the fuck knew that?
I don't think nobody did. I don't even think he did. Maybe he was CG then. I don't know. Shit. But that nigga showed up. It was good to see the father from Good Times was still alive.
He looked bad.
He's old. He was old back then, bruh.
He's super fucking old.
He old, bruh. He didn't look bad. He just looked like an old black man.
Damn, most old black man look bad.
James Earl Jones, dog.
He light skinned.
Bruh, the funeral, though.
He died like a light skinned king.
The funeral, though. I'm not even going to tell nobody. If you ain't seen the movie, you got to watch the movie. Go in it with the open mind. Don't expect it to be better than the previous movie because most sequels are not. I mean, look at Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Return of the Ooze. Definitely was not better than the first one.
Wait. We talking about the old ones or
the old ones?
Oh, that 2 is the best one.
2 was terrible, bro.
Nigga, 2 is the Ooze. That's the best one.
It's terrible. All that shit was terrible. No, that shit is not put like this, bro. You can't watch that shit now.
I definitely can't. I don't know what you smoking,
bro.
The only ninja,
you gonna sit here and tell me Ninja Rap?
Ninja Rap. The only movie in that fucking trilogy that is bad is the third and final one because they decided
Turtles in Time.
Yeah, that shit was trash. But the first Ninja Turtle movie,
you know, there's actually a storyline in the comic books for the Turtles actually going to be the last samurais, right?
Should have let that shit stay in the comic book.
It's because they don't know how to translate movies, right?
But
comic books and video games never. Well, now they never translated their movies correctly.
But yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze, that shit was cracking.
Nah,
But
bro.
since you bring up movies and video games, I had a question. I don't know. I asked it. I think I asked one of the Geek Set niggas. Might have been Rudy. I don't know who I was talking to.
You asked our famous friend.
I did.
Okay.
But with the resurgence of them bringing back the Mortal Kombat franchise,
Okay.
and it looks from a viewpoint of just what they've been showing us, looks good.
Nigga, do you know that's the only fight scene you're gonna get with Sub and Scorpio? That's it. They gave you all the whole budget right there.
It said everything you wanted was in this trailer.
And that's
It's
all
gonna be 2 hours of talking.
It's gonna be all just setting up the premise, but this is all
But
the
no,
action you're gonna get.
I do think it's gonna be a dope movie. I like that they changing the viewpoint of the fact that they're not going with like Liu Kang being the chosen one, which I think is dope.
But
It's
you honestly,
giving you
bruh,
something new.
It needs to be at the same time. So did the video game in so many words. Because if you've been playing the most recent, was it like 9 to now?
Yeah,
Like they kind of flipped it. They kind of rebooted the game twice since then.
that's what 9 was. Like
9 was a reboot from the old one,
right? So they
because
reboot-
technically, was it Armageddon, the one where you
killed everybody.
it was done. Like that game was done. Okay. And then they brung it back. They gave us a dope story, which is literally was a mini movie. That's what made me like the 9. And then 10 kind of reset that story a little bit. Because that's when Raiden went evil for no reason.
You know what I've noticed too? Like for the last 2 Mortal Kombat games, for some odd reason, they've been focusing on Johnny Cage and his family for some odd ass reason.
Because that's the third time they rebooted it.
Like all of these games, like leading up, like when we go from like 1 to 9,
You wanna know why?
it's all about Liu Kang and being the chosen one.
But that's what I'm saying. His storyline is done. They went in a new direction. They gave us more in depth about the ninja clans as a whole,
Yes,
and how we even got robotic ninjas to begin with.
that was dope. They told us that Sub-Zero really did not kill Scorpion and
Right.
his family.
Right. So just to clear, they fleshed everybody out more this time around. I like that. But I think going with Johnny Cage made sense because when you look at every character, other than Johnny Cage being the video game Miz, he really wasn't. There was no purpose for him to be there. So if you go ahead and you take the fact that he throws this green ball as his projectile, well, let's explain the green ball.
They did explain the Grand
And that became the source of his, he has his power, and the fact that he was a womanizer, but somehow the lesbian Sonya Blades fell for him.
Wait, you just go peg her as a lesbo?
Bruh, the way they wrote her in the original series, she was definitely a lesbo.
But with the movie, I think
And then it gave him a way to introduce new characters, because all the new characters minus one, I think, is like the child of somebody's. I think one of the ninja niggas is literally just an ordinary ninja nigga, but everybody else is somebody's kid.
Damn, the blind nigga, one of the new niggas is his kid. Then
Yeah, that's right.
One of them is a descent. One of them, the blind nigga, he got a kid, but because he was undercover, he sent his kid to go train with Scorpion.
Right, which is why he wears yellow.
Right, and then the other nigga, who I think wears black, I can't remember his name right now. He's a descendant from Kung Lao.
Okay, so basically they're all spinoffs of
Right,
somebody else.
Kung Lao seems to be fucking dead. Yeah, Kung Lao's dead.
That's the nigga with the throwing hat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was another thing about the story. The concept of heroes either die or they live long enough to become the villains. But the fact that Liu Kang and Kung Lao died and still became the villains was funny as fuck.
Yeah, I thought I was like, once you like when I've been watching these videos for like a week and a half. So there's this I want to say it's in like Deception. They kill my nigga before the game even starts.
Yeah, and that's what made Raiden want to go back in time to reset everything.
Like Liu Kang was handling these niggas and then they snuck up on him and broke him up. Oh, it was a sad moment. But back to the movie.
It was realistic though.
I feel like them giving us a different character is one of those things where it's like we want our hardcore Mortal Kombat fans who like I don't most niggas like me. I just want you to give me a decent story and give me all the characters.
I just
That'd
want
be my thing. Like when you see what we've been seeing on a video game for fucking 15, 20 years,
right.
if you can make that as close as possible to real life in a movie, I'm fine.
That's why they blew all the CGI budget on that fight that you see in the trailer.
I want to see. No, I'm just saying, like when you see what you can do to, not even like it's rated R, so we're gonna get fatalities. That's what we want. And I like when your costume design is as close as possible to what's in the game because it's based off the video game.
What would you do if you see a nigga do a friendship in the middle of a fucking movie?
I might cry because that's hilarious.
It depends on who friendship it is.
Because I've seen most of the friendships and not all of them are good.
Are you gonna cry good tears or bad tears?
Tears of laughter.
Okay.
But yeah, I think Cole Young is just because we need those casual fans, and you need hardcore fans. It's much like comic books.
True.
Like you do shit for your hardcore fans who can point out the Easter egg that a casual fan like myself, because I don't read comics, I just watch the movies. So when Tone sees an Easter egg in a movie, he be like, damn, that's fire. And I'm like, well, what the fuck did you see that I didn't see?
You know what's funny? I was doing that for all 10 years during the Marvel movies.
And then Tone be like, well, Juan, this is why they did it like this. And then he'd be like, when the comic book it looked like, I'll be like, makes sense now.
That's why I put you onto the comic historian. Because I got tired of explaining shit to you. I was like, here, dog, just go watch this video.
Comic historian on YouTube. If anybody following Dog channel, follow his channel. He be like, you
gotta follow him in Comics Explained. You gotta follow both of them. Because you got to. One of them takes the comics and turns them into a great little mini fucking movie. That's the comic historian.
Right.
Comics Explained, they'll take a story and they'll break it down and they'll explain things for you. So you don't have to go back and find the old ass 1962 story.
Right,
he gonna tell you and put you in perspective, and this is how we got here. And his level of enthusiasm be just, you need to be a professor.
One of them channels put me on was a black guy, I think it was Blue Marvel. I never heard of him.
You know what? It's the funniest thing in the world. As much as we do the Black History Month, actually, you know what? I'm gonna get on Rudy and them about this because I actually kind of expected it from them, or get on Baron and them.
The Black Superheroes.
Yeah, like
I think that ought to be
like we need to focus, like run down all the black, because we got Black Lightning, we got Static Shock, and
why doesn't he have an adaptation yet?
I don't know.
I remember that they had pitched the idea. But the idea pitch sounded bad because they was like, it was going to get Jaden Smith. I was like, okay, I can live with Jaden Smith.
Nah, at this point in time, I want somebody new.
Well, not now. When they first pitched it was Jaden Smith.
Maybe Jaden was just a little bit too weird upstairs.
And then they wanted Justin Bieber to be the white best friend. I was like, nah, I don't want to watch that.
Well, with the fact of all these, you know what? Now, actually, Netflix doing it would actually be the perfect timing now. One, all your Marvel movies just got pulled because Marvel want their shit back. Fucking Indian givers. But if they
got their own shit.
That's why I call them Indian givers. Like now you want it back. Yeah. But that, you know, we not gonna complain. We got some Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Daredevil.
Are they gonna put them on the Disney app?
Yeah, they are. I heard they're gonna put them on there.
Will we get more episodes?
No, they're done.
What the fuck? We need another season of Luke Cage.
We do.
We need the heroes in Harlem.
We actually need, we need an extended Heroes for Hire. Like the Defenders was good, but I guess because Iron Fist was bad.
The Iron Fist was terrible.
That's why we can't get Heroes for Hire, because
I feel like Iron Fist is like Aquaman.
I can't say that because Aquaman, the movie, was good.
No, what I'm saying is,
but the character.
Do you know how people shit on fucking Aquaman? And they shit on Aquaman, not knowing that this motherfucker really is that nigga.
But that's because of how the story was told.
Like Iron Fist might really be that nigga.
He really is that nigga.
But the way they telling this story, it was like, this shit's terrible.
And here's the part that really made me mad more than anything. If you watch the animated Spider-Man cartoon, when he was working for Shield, he was partnered up with Iron Fist and Luke Cage, and they were teenagers, of course.
Yeah, that's the only Spider-Man I watched.
Yeah, he was paired up with them.
And then
So
with the
you got an
White Tiger.
idea in the White Tiger and whatnot. So you got an idea of the strength and the power of, you know, Luke Cage and Johnny, so aka Iron Fist, but it just did not translate over right. But if you think about it, a lot of DC movies didn't when it comes to white people being in like a karate-like settings, they don't transition properly.
That's another thing I'm happy about Mortal Kombat. They got rid of the white people playing Asian people.
That is something that we need to get rid of, period, in movies.
Lord knows Lord Raiden is fucking Asian.
They went with a popular person. Because you got to remember the dude who played Raiden also was a Highlander, and Highlander was the shit at the time.
I was gonna say
fucking Edge was a Highlander at one point in time too, though. But
wasn't that a movie?
Yeah, it was a movie. It started off as a movie. He was the guy who was the main character.
I get dude
in the
from
movies.
Highlander and dude from Back to the Future mixed up a lot.
Michael J. Fox?
No, the other one.
Oh, Doc Brown?
Yeah.
Okay. Nah.
Christopher. What the fuck is that?
It doesn't matter.
I get them two niggas mixed up. I'm like, no, why the fuck was fuck from Back to the Future fucking Raiden? And it's like, nah, it's two different people.
It's two different person, bro.
I said, that's the Highlander nigga.
That's exactly how. That's the only thing niggas remember him as, the Highlander.
Then when they came back with this shitty ass sequel, they went and got a whole nother white guy.
Because, bruh, it could only be one. So the Highlander is not the same person. I think they killed him off. Like, I think it was like one of the sequels. He actually finally lost.
No, I'm talking about Mortal
Kombat.
I'm not
okay.
I've never watched fucking Highlander.
My dad used to watch it all the time. Mike used to love that shit.
You remember Lorenzo Lamas from Renegade?
The Renegade from WCW?
No.
Oh. Because like, ain't he dead?
He definitely is dead.
But I know what you're talking about.
But anyway, like the original question I had before we went on this long ass tangent is that if this fucking Mortal Kombat movie does meet expectations, can this be a launching pad for like failed
reboots?
I won't even say they
games.
failed franchises.
Oh, there was some failed video game franchise, my nigga. Let's just call it what it is.
Just to bring shit back, like I wouldn't. Now, a lot of people tell me I'm fucking losing my mind, but I'm like, can we give Street Fighter a retry?
Yes and no.
Because
here's the reason why.
Guile should have not been played. Although I get it, he was the biggest fucking action star in the world. I don't know why they didn't call Sylvester Stallone.
By Jean-Claude Van Damme.
You want to got a German nigga to play Captain America. That's exactly what happened. That's like Red Skull.
Look.
Being a good guy.
They went and got the dad from the Addams Family to play M. Bison. Now, even though that was his last role, period, because I think he actually died in post-production in real life. Yes and no.
That's the only bright spot about that movie.
Yeah.
Is Bison.
Yeah. Because he's a damn good actor. Yes and no. And here's the reason why I have to say that.
Why yes first?
Yes, because you're gonna put some respect on the name of the Street Fighter franchise. That was not respectable. Like, even if you just base it on the original 10, the original 12, because you had 8 playable characters and then the 4 bosses.
Yeah, like you don't even have to.
You could do it based on the original 12. But the reason why I also say no is the Street Fighter franchise is not the same as it used to be before anyway.
When was the last time you played Street Fighter? Because I think we on like Street Fighter 6 now.
The last one I played when niggas are extra big and bulky now, like they don't even look human.
That might be like 4 or 5.
And that's the last time I played it, when they looked insane. And that was another thing. They have so many new characters now. If you're gonna do the movie, how are you gonna do it? Because if you're gonna refix the story, are you gonna focus on the actual tournament, or are you gonna follow the life and times of Ryu? Because that's basically what every Street Fighter game really is. The life and times of Ryu.
So Ryu just need a solo movie?
Basically, because he goes evil. You can even have him that he's meeting all these different people. He gets into altercations. Ken is his best friend / brother. So you can bring him on like the comic relief. Okay. And he's basically trying to find the ultimate fight, which is how he ends up getting to Akuma. And that's your either your sequel movie. If you really pay attention, bruh, Afro Samurai is the fucking Ryu story.
Makes sense.
And Akuma is the number one.
Definitely makes sense.
Bison just happens to be the nigga who's been number 2 all this time. So he's been the one popping big shit.
Okay, so what you're saying is if we were to reboot it, the villains of this movie we could do where like Bison is the big bad of this movie, and then Sagat is like his underboss.
Right. He's your drug dealing underboss.
And then if we get to a sequel, this is where we bring in Akuma.
Right.
Which I do not understand how the fuck he is linked to Tekken 2. I was watching some shit and Akuma is in Tekken.
It's the evil. It's the evil that
consumes like Hihachi or some shit.
Yeah, the evil that consumes the Zabachi corporation in general. That is a fucking movie that needs to be fleshed out in real fucking life. Give me a legitimate Tekken movie.
Did you watch the actual live action Tekken movie?
And I fucking hated it.
It was garbage.
And you want to know why I hated it? Because I seen the 1998 cartoon version of it, and the cartoon version was lit.
That's usually how most cartoon versions are lit.
It was an anime, so it was definitely lit. I seen that, and then on top of that, one thing, the biggest issue I have with video game movies is the fucking video games themselves tell a fantastic story. You just have to copy and paste people in it.
Yeah, because I don't ever think that the Resident Evil franchise had anything to do with the video games.
No, Alice was nothing to do with it. Alice was created by the movie. It's like if the MCU created a character that was what connected the whole movies, even though you had this perfectly good story already in the comics that you just don't want to use. You use bits and pieces like, hey, here's proof that there was a civil war. But this time we're going to focus on, Johnny Thunder, the superhero we're basing everything on. So I don't know. But Street Fighter should get a reboot. I wouldn't care if we don't get a reboot.
Yeah, like I ain't gonna lose no sleep.
I ain't gonna lose no sleep. Mario needs a reboot, bro. And here's the reason why. The Super Mario Brother movie is labeled as the worst movie in cinematic history.
That's a fact, though.
It is a fact. So we need a redemption. We need a web redemption for them.
I think if we do Super Mario now, it'd be a lot better because
the story is better.
The story is better, and I just think from a visual standpoint with CGI, we can put a lot of shit that ain't really like you don't have to get people to be certain things now.
You can actually make an actual. You can actually have legitimate Goombas,
right,
and all that shit in the area. You can drop Mario and Luigi in a legitimate world,
right? You can CG. You don't have to. I don't even think Yoshi was in the first movie.
Not at all, kind.
But I'm saying though, now we can have Yoshi because you can have CGI a fucking dinosaur on the fucking screen.
Like, cause look at did you watch the recent Sonic movie?
I haven't.
It's not that good. It was not that bad either. But more,
I said after they redesigned Sonic for like the 45th time and he actually looked like Sonic,
right.
I said I was gonna give it a shot. I just never got around to watching it.
Yeah, it was a lot of shit going on. The Sonic movie is an example of how the biggest example is the Detective Pikachu movie. The Detective Pikachu movie is the best example of how you can take a video game world or video game concept and drop it into the real world and vice versa. Because even though you had real people, you had Pokemon all throughout Detective Pikachu.
There were real Pokemon?
It was all Pokemon and everything was in there, bro. And you could not tell me that these Pokemon did not belong in this world. They didn't look like they stood out.
Okay.
They looked like they blended in. Even the funniest part was when little dude was trying to catch a Pokemon for the first time, he tried to catch a Kabone.
I think that's the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, beginning of the movie. And the way the Cabone reacted and then eventually knocked him out with the fucking bone itself, it felt natural. It didn't look like a nigga trying to pretend like there's a CGI thing in front of him.
Where can I find Detective Pikachu?
It might be on Netflix right now.
I'm gonna go look for it.
Watch it. I like it.
I heard good
It's-
things.
It's
right?
fucking
Like,
Daredevil. It's a PG-13 Deadpool, in my opinion.
Isn't
Ryan,
Deadpool Pikachu?
Ryan Reynolds does the same voice for both. And that's the problem with Ryan Reynolds. He acts the same in everything.
But it's okay.
It is, but we can never get him his awards.
I feel like, but you know what? I feel like a lot of people did that.
Yeah, but some people owned their characters and became their characters that we have to remind ourselves that they're not this character. Robert Downey Jr., prime example. One, we can never replace Iron Man because Tony Robert is Iron Man. Plain and simple. Even though he's done other roles, the only other role that Robert Downey Jr. has been in, and we was like, okay, was Tropic Thunder. And even then, he had to pretend to be somebody completely different that we didn't see Robert. Now, when we see Robert, we always see Tony Starks.
I feel like a lot of actors, like when you go back and you think about action stars of the 80s, some of the movies weren't good.
A lot of the movies wasn't good. You know what I was just watching today, bro?
What?
Last Action Hero.
Who's in that?
It's an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. All right.
I already know it's bad.
So the concept of this movie is there's a little kid who loves action movies, and there's this terrible, I don't know why movies, when they had movies in the movies, would make fake movies.
That's funny.
Like speaking of Tropic Thunder, the whole reason why that movie was because they were making a movie, right?
Right.
So it's the same concept. So this kid goes and sees this action movie. It's on like the 4th installment, right? So he gets one of those early screening tickets to go see it. Now, for some odd reason, bro is like the only one in the theater to see this movie, but he gets sucked into the movie.
Oh, this had to come out in like 80s.
It's something like that. So he gets sucked into the movies, right?
This is bad.
But the crazy part is in the movie, Arnold's character doesn't know he's in the movie. He just thinks that this is his life. So they do you can tell when a company owns the rights to something because they'll throw their properties into this movie and shit. So Dog goes back to the police station with Arnold's character, and anybody who's ever played a cop, no matter what the role is in this police precinct. So the T-1000 is walking out the door in a cop uniform.
From Terminator?
Yes.
What the fuck?
Right. So that's like the first obvious that, this is a fucking movie. So the kid is trying to tell Dog it's a movie, right? Arnold's not believing it's a movie. He points out somebody who played in another movie who was a bad guy in that movie, but he's a cop now. In this one, it's hilariously funny yet hilariously bad. And to this day, I'm still trying to figure out how Arnold Schwarzenegger was a big box office draw back in the 80s.
I was having this conversation with a coworker of mine at work because when you talk about white people, it's like you should have this conversation with white people. I was like, all of the great action stars of the 80s, early 90s are fucking terrible.
Like Sylvester Stallone
Trash.
could not talk.
Sylvester Stallone got about 3 great movies under his belt.
Shit, name them because I don't know them.
In my personal opinion, I'll give him Rocky 3 and Rocky 4. Because you don't have to do much. You're a boxer. I'm not expecting.
I don't know, bro. I would have to say the Rocky series as a whole because you needed 1 and 2 to even get 3, though.
Okay, so
because you needed the compelling story of the underdog.
Anything after Rocky 4 is terrible. Rocky 5 and Rocky Balboa is garbage.
Yeah, those shouldn't have been made. But actually, 1 and 2 needed. 1 and 2 was a prime example of when a director gets the rights to do multiple movies in a series, he can do it right. because one was all about the story of this underdog, even though he didn't win.
Right.
He earned respect, as they said. Okay.
So naturally,
So the
you gotta have
second
a
movie,
sequel.
so the second movie, he gets the rematch. He builds this friendship with him, and then he actually wins it. So now he is the champion. All right.
Right.
But then you need those two to make the fact that he has to fight the Russian in the third one.
They fought the Russian in the fourth
In
one.
the fourth one, who did he fight in the third? He fought Mr. T.
I was just watching. This is why I
Yeah.
thought Rocky was
He fought Mr. T. in the
Sylvester
third one.
Stallone is the nigga that plays Sylvester Stallone in every movie.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, same thing.
Mark Wahlberg,
Mark Wahlberg.
The Rock.
Yeah. But that's action movies for you, though. So, okay. So you need Apollo to take the L in the second one so Rocky can become the champ. The third movie is basically Rocky defending his belt for the first time.
It was one of those I lost my confidence stories.
But that was the first time he had to defend it.
And then Apollo had to say, look, fam,
Right.
you beat me and I'm that nigga. So I know it's something inside of you that can do this.
Right. So he lost his smile, but he's the champ. So now he got to get the heart of a lion all over again.
Mr. T beat his ass.
He did. That was the best.
Then the fourth one, he had to defend his friend.
Yeah, his friend got killed in the ring.
Dog, Ivan Drago beat the shit out of Apollo Creed in about 12 punches.
Apollo Creed wasn't even supposed to be in that match, though. That was a no. If you go back and you look at it, dog, that was a man who needed money. Like that's the thing about boxers.
He was broke.
Yeah, that was a man who needed money, bro. Because even as a boxer, you only take the fight because of the purse. You're not. Mike Tyson took fights.
Fight.
Mike Tyson took fights in his later years when he knew he was done with boxing for the purse. Muhammad Ali took fights because he needed the purse. George Foreman took fights. These niggas didn't need to be in the ring. These niggas didn't have nothing left to prove.
I had a debate in the barbershop one year because they didn't believe that Mike Tyson fought Lennox Lewis.
Yeah.
I'm like, nigga, Mike Tyson got his ass whooped.
Yeah, it was literally the fight that made Tyson have to step back from boxing. And it wasn't that, Lennox Lewis was just that much. Tyson was old. He wasn't the same person.
Would you fight Mike Tyson?
Not at all, man. I don't care how fucking old that nigga is. One swing, that nigga can murder you.
I fight Mike Tyson.
No, you won't.
How much money on the line?
Bruh. That fight ain't gonna last past the first 15
seconds. Do I get paid regardless?
They always get paid. It's just
cool.
Your purse is bigger after you go so many rounds, or if you win.
How much are they paying me to step in the ring?
It's a boxing match, and it's Mike Tyson. So Tyson's gonna make 15 mil no matter what. You're a nobody,
right?
You probably may get maybe 800 to $1 million.
Oh, that's cool.
Just getting in the ring.
Right.
If you go, let's say 5 rounds.
No. 800,000 to $1 million. If he swing and miss, I'm going to drop just from the air.
You can't do that. Then you lose your purse. You can't throw the fight.
This is not throwing the fight.
Nigga, if you said he swing and miss and you drop to the ground.
He might not look like he missed. We're going to clinch and I'll be like, just give me a body shot. Let me fall. I can't take a dive.
Can't take a dive, dog. That's how you lose the purse.
Greatest boxing movie ever.
Ali.
No. Damn. What is the name of that movie? It's got Sam Jackson in it. The Great White Hype.
That was the truest boxing movie ever.
And Damon Wayans. Like, that cast is really fucking amazing. And
Jamie Foxx got his shit off. And
I can't find that movie nowhere.
I got it on hard drive.
That movie is a fucking classic.
That was a movie if Mike Tyson bought into what Don King was selling. If he became the showboating this dude where he felt like he could never be beat, that could, and Don King didn't fuck him over. That's the key part. If Don King wasn't fucking Mike Tyson over, that's who he could have been.
Sam Jackson as a fight
Sam Jackson was damn sure Don King.
And Damon Wayans was fat.
He won his fight when he was fat. But when that other nigga came out and knocked that nigga out ASAPishly.
That little African dude that was with Jamie fight.
Yeah,
Knocked his ass.
knocked his ass out, bro. They had to get serious.
I need to find that movie. I need to watch it.
I got it on the hard drive.
The Great White Hype is amazing.
It was a great storytelling, but the best boxing movie ever. Honestly, bro, I like Creed 2.
I won't call it the best.
It's the top 5.
It's not that many fucking boxing movies to pick from.
Let's see.
I mean, there's $1 Million Baby.
That was actually a good storytelling too.
That's what I'm saying. And the Rocky series is undefeated. Well, no, I want to take that back because the last 2 Rocky movies definitely dent his fucking legacy.
Everything can't be gold, bro. Somebody got to drop a bronze.
If they would have stopped after 4, we'd been good. Like, you beat the Russian. What the fuck you come back for? Then you got Tommy Guns out here. Did you know that Johnny Cage persona was based off of Jean-Claude Van Damme?
I can see that.
And they actually wanted Jean-Claude Van Damme to do the first Mortal Kombat movie.
I can believe that.
But he said, I think he turned it down and did Street Fighter instead.
Because you got to think of the image of Mortal Kombat was gruesome. It was gory.
The nigga did Bloodsport.
No. Hear me out. You have to remember when the Mortal Kombat game initially came out, it had very high controversy against it because it was one of the first video games that had decapitation and violence and gore and everything in it. It's the reason why video games even have a rating system.
That's a fact.
Okay. So with so much negative press against it from the same people who would come to your movies to see you got to remember, you got to look at your fan base. If your fan base is against something, you're not going to turn on your fan base because that's how they keep you paid. So if you get offered the Street Fighter contract and the Mortal Kombat contract and your fans fucking hate the Mortal Kombat franchise, you're going to take the Street Fighter deal regardless of what the story is. Because that character of him playing Guile was safe because he was the representation of America. Because, you know, him and Ken were the only 2 characters from America on the original map.
Well, all I know is Mortal Kombat, the first movie, made a lot of money. Street Fighter, not so much.
The story was campy. But at the same time, look at his image. If he took that Mortal Kombat deal, he may not have gotten some of the other movies he got later on down the road.
What the fuck else was he in that we cared about?
See, you're looking at it from this perspective, but you have to look at the way movies were back then. Action movies, kicking, punching, all that shit. That the only thing he really ever fucking did, people like that shit. Like Double Trouble was a stupid ass movie.
Didn't I have Dennis Rodman in it?
Yeah. It was a stupid ass movie when you look at it from an adult's eyes. But kids fucking love that shit. Because karate was a big deal back then when Jean-Claude Van Damme was popular.
That movie was terrible.
A lot of Jean-Claude Van Damme movies were terrible. I think it was in fucking Universal Soldier too.
That was definitely that whole franchise is ass.
But that's what I'm saying.
I feel like they just keep going from one bad actor to the next.
But that's what I'm saying. When you look at the movies at those times, it fit the motif of the times.
I'm like, one wasn't good enough.
That's because you look at it now.
I didn't like them when they first came out.
What's the concept of Universal Soldier?
Bullshit.
No. Seriously though, what's the concept of Universal Soldier?
I don't really remember.
You want to know what the concept of Universal Soldier was?
Please explain.
It's the same fucking concept as Captain America.
Get the fuck out of here.
Think about it. They wanted to create the perfect soldier.
Well, Captain America, they should have waited 20 years.
I'm just saying. Now, I'm not saying that the story is wrong, but that's what it is. They wanted to create the perfect soldier for war. That's exactly what Cap was. They wanted to create the perfect soldier. The only difference was because robotics was the new in thing. They went the route of saying, "Hey, let's put cybernetics in him, and let's make a cybernetic soldier or a bionic man," which was a big thing back then too. Was the bionic woman, the $8 million man. These were big franchises back then. So the Universal Soldier was following that same concept. Fucking Mario Van Peebles did a fucking movie called Solo, which was just a black Universal Soldier.
Mario Van Peebles?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Niggas just signed up for anything, don't they?
But you have to remember, as a black actor, Mario Van Peebles was actually the dude back then.
I get it. Like, I understand when the time frame, but just hindsight is like, oh, you know.
Yeah, this is what you have to do. Go back and watch old movies, right? Or just go back and think of old movies and just look at what was this movie about.
I definitely blame Sylvester Stallone for the reason that Dolph Lundgren is still getting work to this day.
Of course.
Because had he not put this nigga in that goddamn Rocky movie.
At the time, he was the dude, though. Like, no one seen anything like Dolph Lundgren.
Right. That's exactly why after Rocky, he got to be He-Man and fucked up a lot of people's childhood. That movie's bad.
You want to know why He-Man is bad? Because He-Man was basically what it was the company who made He-Man. Okay.
Was that Hanna-Barbera?
I can't remember who. No, I'm talking about the toy company. Because you gotta remember back then everything was made.
Oh, Hasbro.
You gotta remember back then everything was, let's make a show or a movie to sell toys. The toy concept was always thought of first, and then the show was created second.
Wait, I thought He-Man had a cartoon first.
I'm getting there. Okay. So initially, Conan, the Barbarian movie, the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger, the one that he made his debut in, they were supposed to take that, turn it into a toy line, make a cartoon. They were supposed to take the whole Conan concept and blow it the fuck up.
That which would have been understandable.
Okay, that was going to create this whole universe around it. Arnold didn't want to sign the deal. Because of Arnold's popularity, he wanted to take other roles. He didn't want to lock in to a long-term contract being only Conan. So because of that, they had the toy line was set to go. It was the fucking warehouse was already done, filled with all of these fucking characters they created. They was ready to call it a day and just sell the shit. But when the Conan franchise, the first one, it was big, let's do it. And the second movie flopped. It was like, we got to fucking do something with this. So they came up with their own storyline to go with the toys, which then created the He-Man cartoon. So they can sell these damn toys.
The story behind certain shit, you'd be like, you know what? I can see them doing that. Like, just who's in the boardroom? Like, well, we ain't got Arnold. We need a nigga to play He-Man.
So they made the cartoon first, and the cartoon got popular. Kids loved the cartoons.
He-Man was dope.
They fucking loved the cartoon, even though when you go back and you watch it, the cartoon was actually semi-sexist.
Yeah, if we could get Chris Hemsworth to play He-Man in this day and age, I'll watch it.
All right. So, no, then it's fucking just Thor. It's a powerless Thor at that point.
I'm okay with that though.
No,
can we get his brother? They look alike.
Give it to Trip. Let Trip be He-Man.
You know, I had heard a rumor that they wanted him for Thor.
They did. He just didn't test good on
because he had the whole gimmick already. Because he was wielding a fucking sledgehammer on TV.
Yeah. If you pay attention to his WrestleMania entrance, the one with the chair and the skull, and Steph was on the side of him.
Yes,
he fucking was He-Man right there.
I could
just give it to Trip.
Let's do it. Triple H, if you're listening to this podcast, if you see me on YouTube, you gotta be He-Man.
Just give it to him.
Because you really need to redeem yourself for that bullshit you call acting in Blade Trinity. Yeah, although that movie is terrible.
It wasn't his fault. Ryan Reynolds kind of stole the show.
Yeah, but he saved the movie.
He really did.
That movie is watchable because of Ryan Reynolds.
And that's why we got him as Deadpool. You know, they actually end up writing the fact that what do you look like? And they said I'm a little bit of Ryan Reynolds, but burnt to a crisp. That's how Deadpool describes himself. And he did that long before he even got the role as Deadpool. But that's a whole nother story. So, yeah. So when it came time for them to make the movie, they had to find a muscular nigga. So Dolph was already popular as being a muscular dude in acting. So we kill two birds with one stone. We get a famous actor that people already recognize, and he's like damn near a bodybuilder like body. So that's who they went with. They didn't say he was a good actor.
No, he definitely not.
It was just there.
If you were an action hero, what movie would you do? What would be your action like movie?
I don't know, bro.
You want to redo Action Jackson?
I barely remember that movie.
Yeah, Apollo Creed was Action Jackson.
He was.
He was.
He was also in that fucking over the top movie with Sylvester Stallone, where they fucking arm wrestling truck drivers. Dog, I just want you to know the concept of movies back in the days was terrible.
What the fuck is arm wrestling truck drivers?
That's what they would do. He was a truck driver. They would go to these arm wrestling events.
I'm surprised he didn't call Carl Weathers when he did the Expendables.
Maybe Carl just said, nah, bro.
You went and got everybody. You couldn't go get him.
That's probably how Terry Crews ended up getting the role. It's probably supposed to have been Carl Weathers.
Who was also Jax in one of the Mortal Kombats.
Who?
Carl Weathers.
Yeah, he was.
I forgot which I think it was 10.
But to answer your question, honestly, bro,
would you be a hero or would you be more like the tech nigga?
By default, niggas would expect me to be the tech nigga. But if I had to do an action, I would do a Die Hard.
Like a black version of Die Hard?
I got to get back to my girls for Christmas.
I fucking hate the fact that that's a Christmas movie.
But see, that's the thing. There's a lot of movies, if you pay attention, are Christmas movies.
It's a summer blockbuster.
That actually came out on DVD during Christmas. But no, it's called a Christmas movie because it happened on Christmas Day.
Yeah, but the movie dropped in July.
Movies drop all the time, B.
It dropped. It hit the box office July.
That's not what
4th.
makes it. That's not what makes it a Christmas movie. A Christmas movie is what is the time frame and theme of the movie.
So if I do a porno and I fuck a bitch under a Christmas tree, is this a Christmas movie?
And that's where the argument is about. What makes it a Christmas movie? Is it because it happened on Christmas Day, or does the story have to be tied to Christmas?
So is Friday After Next a Christmas movie?
I would say yes, because it is tied to Christmas. The whole concept is these niggas got robbed on Christmas Day.
That makes sense.
That's why it would be a Christmas movie. Die Hard, he just wanted to get home to his family on Christmas. Technically, it's a Christmas movie.
Shout out to Carl Winslow.
That's what I wanted to talk about when our guest was here.
Who? Carl Winslow?
No. It's a family. Judy Winslow.
Still doing porn?
No. First of all, let that go. That's why I want. No,
I'm not trying to stain her career. Is that what she's still doing? Like, what's she doing with her life?
No. She's actually a mother, raising her kids. Her and her sisters have a podcast together.
Okay,
a whole 9 yards.
That's cool as long as she ain't shaking ass for cash.
No, she said that was a dark time in her life. She actually explained. So that's not what I'm getting here for. So apparently, recently, Jaleel White, aka Steve Urkel, did an interview on one of these morning shows. And he was talking about the cast and whatnot. And apparently he was talking about, like, I guess they asked him the situation in regard to your relationship with you and Jamie Foxworthy. Yeah, Jamie Foxworthy. I just know her name is Jamie because I remember it from her podcast. So he basically said, oh, well, she really got let go because she was difficult. Her family was, they were just, in so many words, niggers in the back. And she couldn't remember her lines and all this shit, basically slandering the fuck out of them, right? So on her podcast, which just happens to be the first episode of her second season too, they actually address these accusations. Now she does the shows with her actual two sisters, which was cool. They basically was like, dog, why are you such a fucking liar? Like, first of all, you were a bully on set. Like, he spent every time he could. So whenever there was any free time, he used to bully the fuck out of Jamie, do little petty ass shit. Now, be honest with you, kids are kids.
Right.
Okay, kids are gonna fuck with kids. They're gonna mess with each other. But from Jamie's POV, I get it. You're like 8 or 9 years old, and I think at the time he was like maybe 13, 14 years old. So you picking on this little 10-year-old constantly.
Right.
Now, even though her sisters and them was there at the set, he was only cool with one of them because she was kind of tomboyish and they were around about the same age. The other sister, who was older, she probably would have been more like Eddie's age. She didn't give a damn about Dog. She actually found Dog very annoying and, low-key obnoxious for no damn reason. Now, all three of them actually have acting credentials under their belts long before Jamie even got the role. That's why, if you pay attention in the history of TV shows, her character is the only character in history that never got recast. They just wrote her out and called it a day. Most other situations like that, they'll just recast them. Aunt Viv, Claire, what's some other show somebody got replaced? And I didn't even know they got replaced because I stopped watching it. Fucking Harriet.
Like,
Same show.
Harriet definitely got recast.
They just recasted Harriet for the last season. So she was like, why are you lying? Why are you even talking about me? Why am I the topic of conversation? And the conversation I want to have was, at what point in time do you just let shit go? Like, if we know, like you said, the first thing you brought up was the fact that she did porn. Regardless of how long ago that was, at what point in time do we stop judging the person based off of something they did, when this day and age, we clearly say, I'm not the same person I was yesterday, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. But why society do we still label a person based off something they did years ago?
I don't think we judge people by the shit they used to do. It's just like when you ain't heard from a person in so long, the last thing you can remember is what strikes the bell. Like, because I do not follow her
right
on social media and she's not in the public eye, the last thing I remember Jamie Foxworthy doing was porn.
See, and that's not the last thing I remember her doing.
Right. So my memory of her is different from your memory of her because you have seen her do other things.
My last memory of her was Celebrity Rehab.
See, I never watched Celebrity Rehab.
Yeah,
so
the same season that Mini-Me was on. She was on that one too. And she was on that one because her rehab was for weed.
But see, and I think
which I find is so fucking funny now this day and age.
But I think that in respects is the same as, like, some people remember you for the last thing you did, and then there's some things that people just won't let go. And like, no matter what Jaleel White does in life, he's still Steve Urkel.
Right.
And he don't like that. But that's just life, bro. You can't do nothing better than being Steve Urkel.
Because we don't want, at the end of the day, we can't see Jaleel White. Like, when he was Stefan Urkel, it didn't feel natural, even though that may have been more of him than anything he's ever going to do.
No matter what he did or does in the realm of television or just being famous, you're always going to be that.
I'm trying to remember, did he do anything else?
He was in Big Show's show on Netflix.
He is. He's his gym person.
Right. Like, he's done a lot of shit. He hosted
But the problem with that is, minus the did I do that, it's the same mannerism as Urkel. He's just older now.
Right, like he hosted the shit I used to watch on the Sci-Fi channel. The Scared Show, where they set you up on this shit and then it'd be like one big ass prank.
Oh, Scared Straight? No.
No, it's not, it's designed to scare you. Then he also hosted like a game show that was on the Sci-Fi Channel that was designed to scare you. But still, it's like, bro, you are Steve fucking Urkel. Some shit people do need to shake off their past, and then some people need to come to grips. It's just shit we're gonna remember you for. And that's just life. Like OJ Simpson.
That's different though.
But I'm saying though, OJ Simpson was a phenomenal football player. The nigga broke records like couldn't nobody touch OJ on the field. But when you bring up OJ Simpson, ain't nobody speaking about anything OJ did on the football field. Some shit people will never let go. So whatever resentment that I'm like, and I agree with Judy. Like, maybe you should shut the fuck up, bro. You wrecked an entire fucking TV show.
Right. You basically came in, your character hijacked the whole show.
You probably the reason why she got wrote off because
they
had you and we didn't need her no more.
And that's exactly what happened. Everybody, even executives said that, like they wrote her and Little Richie off because the show became more focused on Steve. Steve was supposed to be a one-time thing.
Not a one time. He wasn't supposed to be a main character. He was supposed to be like recurring.
Yeah, he's supposed to be a recurring.
So he would show up here, there.
And that was supposed to be it.
And then maybe you come back like a following season. He was just supposed to be a fucking neighbor.
But then you turned around, the executives turned around and focused the whole show on him. So it becomes one of those, when is it a Family Matter show? Like it's supposed to be a family show. This show was a spinoff of a whole other show.
That's a fact.
There's nothing about this show that reflects that anymore. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, he's the kind of neighbor I wouldn't have been friends with. Damn sure wouldn't have let him in my house like he came in.
Steve had a story though.
His original story was he was in love with the middle child.
He was.
But that's a typical story. You could have still did that story, and as the progression of high school to college, because like they say, if they're not, they don't want you in high school, but when you're in college, college is the smart niggas lane.
But you know what though? Like honestly, like looking back at Family Matters, if this show does not start to revolve around Steve Urkel, I really don't see how many seasons we getting out of Family Matters.
I think we could, but here's the problem with Family Matters.
Because when you could go back and watch, like just for the sake of argument, whenever you got some free time, just blank your mind out and then go back and watch episodes before Steve gets here, and then watch episodes where Steve ain't even on the fucking show. It's like it's a different dynamic when Steve is on camera.
True, but the story was built. There was enough players in the family that show could have kept going. It could have had its purposes. The whole show, at the time, it was supposed to be a wholesome Black family where every aspect was represented minus a crackhead uncle.
But
which would have probably been Little Richie's dad, which is why he wasn't in the picture.
There's no comic relief.
I think it was going to get developed eventually. We were supposed to see Carl being the stern yet loving dad who would have been the comic in regards to it. You were supposed to have the conflict and then the resolution amongst all the siblings. You were supposed to have the auntie, the cool auntie who comes into the scenario. And then, yes, at that point in time, Eddie's friends, Laura's friends, hell, even Jamie eventually would have been that. They were trying to create an updated Cosby Show. If you pay attention.
Didn't work.
It didn't work because, one, when they introduced Steve, and Steve was so off the wall different.
That's your comic relief.
That people focused on him. Where they made their mistakes at, in my opinion, was you put too much on Steve. Yes, Steve can get bumped up to main, where the love interest chase of Laura could have definitely been a key factor, but it shouldn't have been what carried the show. because now you had to let go 4 to 5 people from the cast to fill in this gap.
I think if they would have just wrote the show from a standpoint of Steve being a child in the household, would have worked a lot better, because now you're not outsourcing your comic relief. He's there already.
Yeah, but
because like when you really look at the Cosby Show, as great as Theo was, Theo is the comic relief, because either he's gonna do something stupid or he's gonna be the butt of a joke. And then when we get to
he's the son in a house of daughters,
right? So then when we get to the daughters, now we can focus on not so much of maybe a super serious moment, but not so much of a super funny moment. So now Bill can tone it down and he could be a dad. And then when you go interact with Theo, he can have that, I'm your dad, but here go my jokes for you.
I think they wanted that, but I guess they didn't want to copy and paste the Cosby Show. Because you got to remember, a bulk of the Cosby Show came from Bill's actual real life. The only difference was he has 4 kids, not 5. That's why Sandra wasn't in the pilot.
But if it's work, if you see, and that's what was.
It's not always about what works and what doesn't work. It's who owns the right to what.
You can't own the right to my pen.
You can own the rights to my ideas.
Yeah, but white people have showed us for years that if you tweak something and move something slightly to the left, it's a brand new fucking idea.
And that's what Family Matters was. That's what Family Matters was supposed to be. We still have 5 kids to keep tabs on. Or do we have 4? We have 4 kids to keep tabs on.
Eddie, no, it was 3.
No, it was 4 when you count Little Richie.
That's not that kid.
It's not their direct kid, but you can't act like that kid wasn't on the show.
And he was still on the show, even after they put fucking Jody.
Because he was fucking doing Michael Jackson all the damn time. Motherfuckers love seeing little kids do Michael Jackson.
Steve Urkel saved the show.
I don't know, bro.
Killed a lot of niggas' jobs, but
I feel like what they could have did was they could have spent Steve off. It could have been Steve and Laura or whatever you want to do. You could have moved the show to here's Steve's show. Let Family Matters run its course, end it at a certain point, just give it a nice natural finale, and then let the Urkel show or Steve Urkel or whatever the fuck you was gonna call the show, let that be what you put all your efforts in. Prime example, it's like Blackish. Blackish is your family show. It's 100 your family show. But if you watch early episodes of Blackish, you can tell that Zoe was the centerpiece of the show. Even though the twins were coming into their own, and Junior is definitely the comic relief, the key person of this show was Zoe. So when they spent Zoe off and she did Grownish, you still had a Blackish show to grow with because you still had 2 other key children to focus on. You had the twins and you had Junior. Now Junior is still comic relief. He still comes and does his moments, but now the show is based around the twins because now the twins are at that age where they're changing and you can have identity-based concepts going on while still having a show, while Zoe is over here doing all the fucked up shit people in their early 20s do. True. And you're not taking away from the show. So if Zoe comes back to Blackish, she's not out of place. She didn't take over the show. We didn't lose the show because we're worried about her over here. No, the show still grew. So when Zoe, if they ever put her back into the mix, she just feels like, oh, okay, Zoe's here today. Well, she's home from school now or her career. It's no big deal. Yeah, but that's with the Urkel, it was like if Urkel wasn't on the episode, didn't nobody want to watch it. Which at that point, I felt Urkel should have had his own show.
I don't think Urkel by himself would have worked.
It could, because think about it. Some of the key storylines had nothing to do with the family. So when Steve got a girlfriend, when he got Myra, but you still have this Laura issue over here. You could have easily had a lot of stories with Urkel and Laura and Myra Eddie could have came in from time to time to balance the dynamics.
You know, honestly, okay, thinking about it just in the last 10 seconds, it could have possibly worked, but I think you would have been asking Jaleel to then take on an Eddie Murphy type of look at the world.
But that's what they did with him in the show anyway.
Right, but I don't think he personally would have been ready to do it and him be the star. Because now you play your cousin.
Who was the star?
No, I'm just saying, like, if you give Steve Urkel his own TV show.
All right.
So he's got to be Steve.
Right.
And then he's going to play the cousin, sister, or whoever the fuck the chick was.
He played everything.
Right. So then now you may get two people to play your parents, or maybe not, because your parents didn't fucking exist on TV.
And that would have been a good, if you would have spent the show off. Now you can put somebody in to be his parents, and they don't even have to have major roles. They could just be cameos. Look at Fuller House. We didn't have the dad, the uncles, and the best friend in every single episode. And when they were there, they were not there to highlight the show. The show was about the kids. You could have done it. Steve could have definitely been spun off to his own show.
I feel like DJ had more of a life than Steve. So now at work, like you had like just base characters, you had more to work with than Steve. Like you got Kimmy coming back because that's your best friend.
Right.
The middle child is now older, so she's coming back. I don't know why they didn't bring the younger child in.
Because she didn't want to be a part of the show.
She looked like she smoked rock, but
but
I'm saying like she just had more to work with. Like she still had the the dude who was her boyfriend at one point in time, he came back.
But listen to all what you said, okay? So let's take that concept and let's say we spin it off. As much as we want to make Steve the star, you spin it off on Laura. The Laura that basically is the key person. So Laura's graduated from high school now, okay? She's off doing her thing. She goes to school. Just so happens, same school Steve goes to. Okay. So now you can have Cherry, or whatever her character name was on that show, Waldo, because you remember Cherry and Waldo was dating by the end.
It was Maxine.
I just got done. I just got done watching Punky Brewster reboot. And
what is that on?
It's on Peacock.
I'm not signing up for that.
Just $5, bro. Just do it.
Not until WWE moves to Peacock.
And when you get there, you gonna watch Punky Brewster and Saved by the Bell.
Yeah, but not now.
I'm just saying. I'm not forcing you. I watched it because I just wanted to see it. It was funny.
I was mad.
Besides, Punky Brewster kept popping up on my Facebook.
I was mad you had a Peacock account, didn't share.
Nigga's been on the TV. Peacock was free in the beginning. Peacock was free for like 3 months.
I'm gonna see what it's talking about. But if the upcharges once the network move over,
it's not upcharging. It's not they're even giving you like 3 months for free or 6 months for $10. It's something like that. Yeah. They're giving you for a rest because of it. You're getting a deal. So you're not even going.
Know what? Honestly,
but let's get back to that. So you got Maxine.
I really don't care about Laura and Steve spinoff, but continue.
I'm just saying.
We
here now. I'm stuck in this thought. I gotta fucking finish it, okay? Or else I'm gonna go home and actually write the fucking pilot for this, and I don't want to do that.
Sell it to somebody. We could get some money.
Nah, bro. Don't nobody want the pilot. Jaleel is pissing everybody off. We don't want the pilot. Laura's fat right now. Carl got diabetes. Eddie is being a fucking rapist on other TV shows. So
what?
Oh yeah, when Star first started off, Eddie was basically a child molesting rapist.
Oh yeah,
so nah.
He was James Brown.
Yeah. Well, no. In what?
One of those BET movies.
Okay, because I was going to say the actual James Brown movie, which was fantastic, was done by the late great Chadwick Boseman. Okay, he fucking killed that role.
No, Eddie Winslow was James Brown on BET.
Like, do not see black sitcom supporting cast members need to stop taking roles that they know damn well they are not fit for.
I don't know too many black supporting cast members that have done that outside of Eddie Winslow.
Flex Washington.
Yeah, he definitely shouldn't have been Michael Jackson.
Okay.
See, that's what I'm saying. No matter what you do in your life, you have black eyes on your career. No one will ever forget that he was Michael Jackson. Nobody.
I'm just saying, people.
And he did Homeboys in Outer Space.
Homeboys in Outer Space had potential.
Yeah, but it never reached it.
That was because
Wasn't Dougie Doug in that too?
Dougie Doug. Yeah, that was his first. He did that after he did Cosby.
You know what? I want to sit down with Bill and be like, why?
Cosby was his original show. His original show he wanted to pitch. It was supposed to be a story. It's based on his dad. Because when his dad hit retirement age, he didn't know what to do.
Because watching that, I'm like, it got to a certain point in the Cosby era that shit I didn't understand it anymore.
Because you thought everything blended together. Because he went and got Felicia Rashad to play his wife after just doing a whole fucking show with Felicia Rashad, it confused us. Because we thought that this was like the sequel to the Cosby
Show. I'm like, okay, so all the kids that moved out.
And in actuality, it's not the same show because in this
he
one,
brought back the other chick too.
In this one, he only had one daughter.
Right, but she was played by.
It wasn't Tempest.
That is her.
No, she's played by the one of the chicks from In Living Color.
I gotta go look this up.
She is like Takia. Something. She played Raven's mom in Ravens. Not Ravens. That's So Raven. The woman who played Raven's mom and That's So Raven played the daughter. I was just watching it on Amazon Prime the other day.
The Cosby Show?
Yeah, Cosby.
Is there?
Yeah.
Is it free?
Yeah.
I'm watching it.
Yeah, Cosby.
See, how do I find? Because they're just going to show me the Bill Cosby Show.
You got to type in Bill Cosby in Wikipedia. You got to scroll down to TV show.
Okay, wait.
Because he had 3 shows called Cosby. Yeah. He had an older one in the 70s when he was like a young football coach at a high school.
They had Journey Smollett.
Yeah, that's where she started at. That was her debut.
Dog, this cast is so fucking random.
Because Heavy D was her dad.
Why is Sinbad?
No, Sinbad. Sinbad was her dad. And Sinbad dropped her off. Because here's the story. Sinbad actually pissed off Bill when he decided to quit working on A Different World. So when they finally patched it up, he gave him the role to play Journey's dad.
That shit's wild.
Because Sinbad quit A Different World to get his own show where he was raising his sister's kids.
Sinbad show wasn't on TV too long.
It wasn't. We just didn't want that.
Yeah, see that Cosby shit ran together because
it literally was like
his name was Lucas or some shit.
Yeah, it was like as soon as the Cosby Show ended, I swear, like a season later, this came on.
Like, because I remember like Theo was a teacher. That must have been like the later years of
towards the end because he graduated. He was a TA/teacher.
Right, he's a teacher's assistant.
Yeah. Vanessa was dating a dude that was like 10 years older than her.
Yeah, shit was wild.
Rudy got her period. I don't know why I remember that episode because they made a big deal about it for no reason. It was because I remember the very last episode was about Theo's graduation and Bud, because there was no more tickets to get to the graduation, but Bud's brother somehow was able to get all these tickets. Bud's brother was a drug dealer. They just didn't say it. That's what I came, because he was always able to get a hold of shit that apparently you couldn't get of.
It was unavailable.
It was unavailable, but Bud somehow got him.
Bud had everything.
Everything.
That's crazy. Yeah, that shit's wild though. Bill Cosby and fuck that TV show.
The Cosby?
Yeah.
Cosby wasn't that bad. Once you realize this is not the same show, it was just basically a man who retired and he didn't know what to do with his life. His daughter had a best friend.
He should have called it something different. He confused us.
But thing about it was if you paid attention to Bill Cosby's career, all his shows were called Cosby in one shape or form.
Has Bill Cosby ever made an appearance on A Different World?
Nope.
No guest star, no
Mm.
parents.
He didn't show up. Nope, because him and Debbie Allen had beef.
But it was Bill Cosby's idea.
He's an executive producer, but he had beef with Debbie Allen because when Lisa Bonet got pregnant in real life, Debbie Allen wanted to write it into the story. So she was just gonna have her, be pregnant while going to school and trying to, juggle with all that, like actual real.
Yeah, I was just saying
women
that's
do.
actual real life. I know a lot of pregnant chicks that go to college.
Right. But Bill was like, Denise Huxtable will not be pregnant. He didn't say Lisa Bonet. He said Denise Huxtable will not be pregnant. So when they took her off the different world, instead of immediately putting her back on the Cosby Show, they did a whole season without her. And that's why every time in the intro, he kept holding up a photo of her when they would do the dance sequence intros to keep her still in the mind that she's not gone. So after she had the baby, did maternity leave, got settled in, he brung her back, but he brung Olivia too. So the story was she dropped out of school. She went to Africa to find herself. She married the military dude, and she came back with the kid.
So you didn't want her in school pregnant.
He didn't want Denise Huxtable to actually be pregnant. So instead of since the story was out that Lisa Bonet had a kid, they decided to write her having a kid in the story, but they made it be that it's her stepdaughter. And that's how you got your new comic relief. Because Olivia basically was the reason why they got 3 more seasons out of it.
Big facts.
Because they took Theo out the story. They took Sandra out the story in so many words. Because Alvin was, that's a sexist motherfucker.
He was funny though.
He was funny because he was sexist. And he was like, it wasn't just like, I'm a man, I'm supposed to be the note. He was sexist because he was taught that way.
So then it was always comic
but
relief.
it was good. It was good because it allowed the women
to put him in his place.
Right.
Like,
because he said something and Claire shut him
this shit
down.
This shit pops up on Facebook all the time. It's a scene where it's him and Bill in the living room, and I think Claire's about to exit the scene, but before she exits, she asks Bill how he want his coffee. And then Alvin says, oh, well, see, that's nice. And he mentioned something about her going to fetch coffee. And then she just read this nigga from head to toe about her doing it because she want to do it, not because she got to do. I was like, yo, I think I fell in love with Phylicia Rashad.
Is that the time where Bill just sat there and he leaned back?
Bro, because he just let him.
He slowly tried to slip out the seat. I remember that, dog. Dog, Alvin got read plenty times.
It's just like
I think one time I seen Dog got read because Alvin came and asked permission to marry Sandra, and he asked Bill, but he didn't ask Claire, and Claire ripped him a new asshole.
Claire stayed ripping that nigga a new asshole.
Cause dog, niggas wasn't gonna play with Claire, dog. You was not, dog.
I love Claire.
Everybody loved Phylicia Rashad. That's why I'm mad that you didn't never get a chance to watch Empire, because it was one season where she was Taye Diggs' mom, but dog, she was so evil.
I think by the time Empire got back to a point where it was decent enough to watch again, a lot of people was off of it.
They were, and they missed a lot of the good cameos that made the show pretty good. Like the Nia Long storyline for a while was pretty decent.
Like, I like to say it was because of the gay shit to be funny. But it was like whoever was in charge of writing this shit, at a point in time, it just got bad.
No, me and Teresa I'll tell you exactly. Me and Teresa had this conversation all the time. The problem was Lee Daniels wrote every fucking season like he knew by episode 3 he was getting canceled. So he would cram entirely too many fucking storylines and plots and conclusions and new beginnings in one fucking season.
Like, at one point in time, this shit really just stopped. I get it. So you got this broken family. Your mom's in jail. Your daddy running this big ass empire. yo, you are a rapper, and your son, I don't know what the fuck Andre does.
Andre was a businessman. He was grooming himself to take over the business.
So Andre is being groomed to take Lucius' spot, and then Hakeem is the flashy, flamboyant son who's a rapper, and then you got Jamal, who's not. This ain't about his sexuality, but you got Jamal. He just want to play music. He good. He just want to sing. I understood that it's a broken family, and we're gonna put the pieces back together. Cookie gets out of jail. Hey, I want what's mine. I understood that story. You got all this shit, nigga. I want what's mine. Like, guaranteed. Let me get that. Understood. Then they started sprinkling Jamal's sexuality in. It wasn't overkill, but we knew where he stood. Okay, Jamal, you gay. Then it got to a point that every episode, Jamal was fucking someone. Not my cup of tea, but if this is what you're into, then you watch it. Then it gets to a point where it's like 30 motherfuckers are trying to. This got worse than the WWE storyline. Like, Lucius was the champion and there was a new number one contender. Every fucking episode trying to take the Empire. What?
I think that's the part that I think they went back to that to whenever they wanted to wrap up a quick. Empire was definitely WWE minus the actual wrestling, because storylines would be done and then moved on to a new storyline with the same people so quickly that if you wasn't watching it every week,
you missed something.
You definitely missed something. You didn't understand, how did we get to this point? Why did we give it did move. It was too much. Honestly,
he shot his bodyguard best friend. Exhibit tried to take over the company. They pushed a white bitch down the stairs, which I think they killed her.
Yeah, they eventually killed. Yeah, they eventually killed almost damn near.
He married the chick with the short haircut.
He didn't.
Well, he was gonna marry her, so the bitch couldn't say nothing in court. Andre was off his fucking meds and losing his fucking mind.
That was how the show ended.
They kidnapped Hakeem, and meanwhile, Jamal is fucking niggas in a Pepsi commercial. This is fucking wild. If this ain't Vince McMahon fingerprint, I don't know what is.
I just think that a lot of if they took season and actually like fleshed out some of the stories, like don't try to cram them into one season, but just spread them out. That show could have did about
Empire
10,
should have
12.
been a movie.
I say Empire was what happened after Hustle and Flow.
You know what? Maybe if they was to revive Empire and write it as a movie, it could be what happened after Hustle and Flow.
No, let's pay attention. Hustle and Flow was all about the fact that this nigga DJ wanted to be this big rapper, right? And he went to this event or whatever it was. Let's just say after doing that, because he went to jail, right?
I've never seen the Hustle and Flow.
Yeah, I think he ended up went to jail. Niggas heard about him beating up on Ludacris. He gave one of the CEOs his tape, and he's supposed to have it blew up after that. That's kind of how the movie perceivedly ended. Okay, so let's say that's exactly what happened. If you were to watch Empire, first of all, he's this big, huge, known rapper. That's how he built his empire. Cookie, which happened to be his baby mama in Hustle and Flow anyway. Okay. She was pregnant, right?
This is true.
There's Andre. Okay. So we can just fast forward through the years of the climb. During the climb, he got pregnant a couple of more times while reaching goodness. Now, there was a white girl in the story, right?
Right.
In Hustle and Flow. You know, she was hooking for him at first, but then she wanted a real job, and she's supposed to have been out here getting this promotion on. She was also a druggie too, right? The funny part is his illegitimate son was by this random white girl on the side.
Who was the illegitimate son?
Oh yeah, see, towards the closer to the end of the show, apparently, when Cookie first got locked down, a couple of his junkies couldn't pay their tabs and needed a fix. So cash gas her ass, and she got pregnant.
Yeah, so I like to thank everybody who was watching this episode of the Death Fresh Show. Appreciate y'all. Because on that note of Lucius Lyons fucking junkies, I won't be here anymore.
I mean, drug dealers get head and sleep with they people all the time. You know,
You ever slept with a customer?
first of all, I didn't move serious weight where folks felt the need to sell me ass to get their fix.
You don't sell weight, but you do sell dope.
Audio coke is something completely different, and
Don't
if you
don't admit to anything you've done while this
I'm like,
camera's on.
if you fucking for podcasting, maybe life is not what you think. I want you. I don't.
Yeah,
not that serious.
say life is not what you make it, bro.
Like you should not be fucking to do a podcast.
Hey man,
Podcast is free.
yeah, but not to get this kind of quality production. Look at this, nigga. We got the Death Fresh logo. We got the TDR logo. We got my nigga Huey and Riley. I'm Huey, right? No, I'm Riley. You're Huey.
Thank you. Get it right, bro.
Because I'm the.
You definitely are not the philosophical one.
Nah, I'm HR paper stack.
You are 100% nigga shit.
That's a fact. And then you see, you got the YouTube, you got Spotify, got the Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Deezer. Nigga, we is everywhere.
Shout out to George Floyd. Rest in peace.
Yeah, we got George Floyd in the background. And this 5 mic list fraudulent as fuck. And one day we're gonna talk about it.
There's only 5 people on there that don't need to be on there. There's only 5 albums on there that don't need to be on there. The rest of them earned they keep.
I don't know.
Some of them got bought
That little Kim shit might got to go.
because they didn't give it to the first one like they should have.
I'm still mad that you made me go listen to them 2 albums.
Yeah.
Although the Lil Kim first album is not bad.
No, Foxy's wasn't that bad either.
That shit's terrible.
That's one of them didn't age well over time album.
Yeah, I don't like how Foxy raps.
But you gotta remember back then we didn't have too many female choices.
Foxy rap like Jay-Z.
But exactly.
And Jay-Z don't sound right rapping like that.
But that's the thing, you know.
I get it, but
Yeah, that was the thing back then.
you sound like who write your bars.
Most of the time they did.
That's why Lil Kim had that raspy ass delivery, because Big Papa.
Let me see on that list.
Listening to Biggie Smalls reference tracks are fucking nuts.
I don't know, bro. Lil Kim is probably the only questionable one. Keep it a buck.
On that Public Enemy album.
That it deserves to be there.
Don't age well.
I didn't say it didn't.
I'm just telling you it don't age well.
For the time when it came out, that was the music of the revolution. You know, Black Power was in full effect back then, and
Broken Blunts and Bad Bootlegs will be out by the end of the summer.
all right, we're gonna write it while we're in Atlanta too.
Broken Blunts. We gotta get some beats.
That's not gonna be hard.
So we gotta get some beats.
And there's a whole website of niggas selling beats. We can get some cheap beats.
True, but I also want to represent the city.
Make a beat.
You gonna make a beat?
Yep. It's gonna be the last track.
Okay.
Look, fam, it's a soundtrack to a fictitious movie, bruh.
Right.
I'm just gonna make a beat. I'm gonna make a beat. It's gonna be old school as fuck too.
Okay.
That's gonna be the outro. Ain't nobody rapping on this beat.
You're gonna make a funky ass old school outro beat.
Yep, it's Tones Groove 12.
Where was the other 11?
Where's the movie?
You got a point.
Okay. Oh, that's what makes it perfect, my nigga. Because
that nigga said Tones Groove number 12. Where the fuck is the first 11? Where's the movie?
Where's the movie, my niggas? You know, the crazy part is we know people who we could actually legitimately make this movie if we want to.
I think we should.
One day.
We should really put together Broken Blunts and Bad Bootlegs.
What if we made the movie with nothing but podcast people in it? First of all, the acting is going to be fucking atrocious.
I think that's what will make it good. I don't want to be in it though.
Nah, nigga. We gotta be in it.
Well, I don't want to be the star of it.
I wasn't gonna make you the star.
Damn.
No. It's only because we old. So the problems that they're supposed to be in the movie.
Oh, we could get some of them young niggas that work here.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. We old, so we shouldn't be having them problems. If you know what, bro, keep it a buck. If we were gonna take anybody and make them the stars, it probably would be Topics from the Trenches.
Facts.
Cause them three niggas alone.
I think we could base this movie off them and the Wolfpack people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Them are all our stars.
All
the main characters.
Yeah, we could do that.
And then everybody else who does a podcast kind of fill in the gaps.
Dog, think about this, dog. So P3, Wind Down Wednesday.
It's gonna be a lot of bad bitches in this movie.
Man, you got Rules to Them Crowns. We got Dia in it.
We gotta put Uncle Scales in there with his whole life.
He gonna own the record shop.
Oh God!
With Disco Lady playing in the back.
I just want to work. I just want to work in there.
Man, dog, you have to understand. We got to put like Donnie, Joey, Brett. You got to put all of them in there.
Fucking cracking,
dog. You just imagine Donnie, dog. Oh,
we need Tori drunk ass in here somewhere.
Tori owns the bar.
I do.
Tori,
I saw what you did there.
Tori owns the bar. Casey works at the bar.
She's the bartender.
Got to be the bartender. Where we put BB at?
Security.
That's you. You and BB work security.
I'm not working security. I'm working in the record shop.
No. But you moonlight at security at nighttime. That's what they're gonna bring up. Say, nigga, when you just at the record shop, nigga, I work security here too. What the fuck? Fuck.
So I work at the record shop. Then I'm
you and BB just outside just arguing like niggas sneaking. That's how some of the niggas sneak into the club because you and BB out there arguing about something.
I feel you.
Okay.
I got it. Can we get Robin to be like our Erykah Badu in this movie?
No, that's Dia.
That's Dia. They both be holistic.
And we gotta put Robin somewhere. Robin working on the record shop. She a music junkie.
What do you do?
What do I do
in this movie?
What am I doing in this
movie? Are you
movie?
someone's grandfather?
No, I'm sitting out somewhere.
You just sitting outside?
I'm somewhere outside. I'm just a random nigga in the movie.
You should be the old nigga who sits outside the record shop and tell them how bad today's hip hop is.
So me and Ken just gonna be outside arguing?
Yes! Just like the niggas from Coming to America.
Just me and Tommy just outside arguing.
Arguing over today's hip hop and how it ain't shit.
No, just do it. We just might as well do it in the record shop then.
Yes!
There's all of us in this arguing.
Telling niggas how great Busta Rhymes was.
That's definitely Tommy's go-to.
Can't
nobody listen to motherfucking Lisa the New School.
Why do he think? You know what?
Let him he didn't like Lisa the New School. He's more of a Wu-Tang person.
I don't know.
What about Sharita? You got to put her in there.
Yammy?
Yes. She got to be somebody's mama. She's somebody's mama.
We need just beautiful big booty women to walk through the record shop.
Nah, she's somebody's mama.
I mean,
because when one of your buddies, so when one of the niggas from the trenches, you know what? She could be 3,000. She could be 300's mama. The nigga with the money.
Why is that his name?
That's a street name. So let's call him 300. So that's got to be 300. That's got to be 300 mama. That way, you know, Omar and B-Love can be checking her out, and this nigga gets mad and you keep looking at my mama.
What's your street name?
Huh?
What's your street name?
I'm still Tone. I'm not changing my name.
Nigga said
that's
a street name.
It's
like, you ever think about it? It's like, what's your street name?
Tone. So we talking about bad bitches. That means Ruffles Feathers, Wind Down Wednesday, Black and Balanced, Talk is Cheap, Rules to Them Crowns, P3, Speak Your Truth, Rev Ready. Damn, that's who else has to be in there. So if we focusing on the young niggas, Rev Ready, Topics of the Trenches, Wolfpack, they're our main stars.
I feel like we have to end this movie with a big ass party.
Yeah, that's the whole reason. The bar, the club that we're at is Tory's spot.
Broken blunts and bad bootlegs will be the new standard for house party.
That sounds like that's what we creating on the low.
Yes, we will be the new standard. You heard it here on the Death Fresh Show. Whenever me and Tone get in the lab and write this movie, Broken Bloods, Bad Bootlegs is new standard for House Party. Watch. Shit gonna be fucking amazing. And it's gonna be on Amazon Prime.
Hey,
So you gotta be a member to watch the movie.
don't sit on the Prime.
It's gonna be on the Prime.
Hey,
Or Netflix. I'll take whatever. Whoever gonna offer me $25 million.
we got to put Baron and them in the movie too somehow. Can't leave Baron and them out.
That could be like the niggas on the video game. Because you gotta have a video game scene.
We'll let them be the niggas that they're watching on YouTube. Because everybody's watching YouTube. Somebody's missing that we didn't cover, that we didn't include.
Did we cover Fly Girl with Fibro?
Yeah, she'll be in it. She's one of the baddies.
Who the hell is Classic Talk?
Out of Arizona. We got to put Kyle and Jacob in.
What about Mimi?
That's who I'm thinking. Where are we gonna put Mimi at?
Do you have a random scene where she's just selling sex toys?
Okay, so if one of the girls is supposed to be dating one of the dudes, there could be when the girls are out kicking it before they go out, they could probably stop off at a sex store. They could stop off at Cummer's Candy Closet. And there's a whole scene being done in the store of Cummer's Candy Closet.
We really got this. It sounds like a fun project to be a part of.
Sounds like a project that you gotta be. I feel like it's going to be the Who's the Man of Milwaukee podcast.
I'm with it.
Like, it's more so about, can you spot your favorite podcast in the movie? Because once we get like everybody's natural roles, we're gonna need extras for stuff.
Oh, nigga, we know everybody.
And that's what I'm saying. That's where the other pods come into play at.
We know every fucking body. Who don't want to be an extra in the movie?
Because niggas, I don't even care if it's a good. It's not even made to
So
be. It's not even about being a good movie.
It don't even sound like it's gonna be good.
It's not supposed to be.
It sounds like it's
good.
gonna be fucking terrible.
It's gonna be like Fat Beach.
Do we need a script?
Eventually,
Okay.
like niggas gotta know what to say. Hey, they keep calling. They telling us to shut the fuck up. What? Yeah, with the message we just got, that's our note to get up out of here.
Damn, she fine now.
Yeah. With that being said, we've come to the end of this particular episode. It was I'm not gonna lie to you people. This was only supposed to be a quick 60-minute episode, and somehow it's 2.5 hours.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out, man. When the conversation get good, it get good.
We should. You know what it was when we started talking about Jamie? That's what took us over, because we really got into a heated debate over Steve Urkel and Family Matters. I might split this show, so we won't have to work next week.
No, we got to, because we promised people that was coming through.
We haven't reconfirmed with them yet, but we can double back. We can push them to the next following week, because they're moving to Wednesday anyway. But with that being said, people, make sure you check us out on all streaming platforms.
I always want a day off.
Nigga, I'm a family man.
So am I.
I created.
I was gonna say, niggas, don't lie. So you gave birth.
I was trying to flip it real quick to say I gave her my sperm to make those, but then that still doesn't make you a family. But
right,
because there's plenty of niggas leaving sperm in cups, and
you never know. I might got some kids out here in the world I don't know about.
You might, and if you do, I'm not mad at you, my nigga. Just
Don't wait till that fresh show blow up to be like, you know me.
It's like, I'm the Prince of Zamunda and you can suck my dick.
Because this ain't I'm the Prince of Wands world. No, you're not, G. I don't know you.
Anyway, make sure you check us out on all streaming platforms. Check out the live premiere. That's what I got to call it now. On YouTube every Wednesday at noon. You do it at noon, right?
Every noon it drops.
Okay. At noon, where you can go ahead and check this video out if you're listening to us on the audio. I don't expect you niggas to still be up with us tonight, because nigga, I don't want to be up.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting sleepy.
So with that being said, one, gives us your words of wisdom so we can get the fuck up out of here.
Be kind to others and wear rubbers.
Yeah.
Did you nan rubbers?
Yeah. I could skeet in the person I skeet in all the time with no problem. But for you niggas out there, if you don't want to have to take any kind of medication to avoid getting sexually transmitted diseases, wrap it up. With that being said, people, we out.